10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bliss.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. It's yet another beautiful brand new week, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. You're also welcome to the news headline review. We bring you all the relevant stories making waves in the news. And I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu, and I'll be taking you some news articles this morning with Miss Regina Bliss and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing? How are we doing?
I'm good, dear.
Miss Debbie, how are you?
The grace is sufficient.
Right. We bless God for that. How's the week though? How's the weekend for you? Miss Regina?
The weekend was fine by grace.
Miss Debbie?
Fantastic.
Oh, we bless God. I love your pink blazer.
Thank you.
We are still in the breast cancer month. Yesterday I went to church and a whole lot of demonstration went on yesterday. Don't worry. I'll teach you. No, I'll teach you after. I'll teach you afterwards how the nurse demonstrated. Then you go and do it in the house.
They brought original breasts.
So for our first story this morning, students with disability to receive automatic fee coverage. Mahama. President John Dramani Mahama has announced the full implementation of the free tertiary education for persons with disabilities policy, which guarantees automatic and comprehensive fee coverage for all students with disabilities enrolled in Ghana's public tertiary institutions. Speaking at the official launch of the initiative, President Mahama said the move formed part of government's broader no-fee stress policy, a flagship intervention aimed at removing financial barriers to higher education. He said the new policy ensures that students with disabilities will no longer need to apply individually for financial support. Instead, tertiary institutions will validate and submit the names of students with disabilities through the Student Loan Trust Fund portal, after which their fees will be paid in full directly to their institutions. The initiative themed Disability Not Inability, Advancing Inclusive Access to Higher Education under the Reset Agenda is part of government's ongoing effort to promote equity, accessibility and inclusion in education. Since the pilot phase of the initiative, 142,440 first-year students in public tertiary institutions have received academic fee reimbursements, including full coverage for validated students with disabilities. The President expressed gratitude to public universities, technical universities, colleges of education, health training institutions, and colleges of agriculture for their cooperation in implementing the policy. The initiative, President Mahama noted, is a reaffirmation of his belief that education is the great equalizer which bridges the gap between where a student is born and what that child can become. He urged students with disabilities to embrace the opportunity, saying the government stands committed to working alongside them in their educational journeys. And that was from President John Dramani Mahama. He says no students with disability will have to, struggle or even have to worry about getting their fees paid again. And this is part of the no fee stress policy. And this new initiative means that all students with disabilities in our public tertiary institutions, from universities to colleges, from teacher training to health colleges and then all of that, will now enjoy automatic and full fee coverage. Unlike before, they won't need to apply individually for support or go through any long paperwork. But this time around, the school will submit a validated form of every disabled student in that school, and then their fees will be paid automatically to the institution. Right now, these people wouldn't have to go back and forth from office to office to, struggle to get all the paperwork done. But this time around, they will pay straight up to the institution. Ms. Debbie, what do you make of this initiative? You were there on Friday for the lunch. How was it for you?
Well, it was a great one, and I could see the joy and excitement in the faces of these disabled persons. We live in a society where these people are not regarded, and also making their way to the university is kind of very, very difficult. One has to do with the financial aspect, and even sometimes before you get the admission, the administrator can just look at you and then tell you something that can discourage you. Especially, schools. My school like this, to get to one lecture hall, you have climb. So sometimes looking at all this, it's also in a way discourages these people. If you don't have an electric ride that will actually help you, or maybe you have a friend or a colleague who can assist you, it makes it so difficult. So with the president coming up with such a great initiative, it's like including them in a society where they can be recognized as persons. The fact that they have issues with their body doesn't mean that they cannot think or they cannot contribute to the development of the country. Recently, I saw a disabled that was called to the bar.
Yeah.
That didn't stop him from acquiring what he wants to be in future. It didn't stop him from achieving his aim or his goals. We have disabled who are nurses. When we went for the program, look at the MC. Like, he's just good. Even look at the English. Everything was perfect, even though he's disabled. But it doesn't stop him from building up himself. If you see the way he talks and everything, you could see that this man is very educated. So it tells us that if your hand is not properly good, or maybe you cannot see. We saw people that were blind. They came to give a speech. We saw the lady that could not even talk, but at least she managed to say something. So President Mahama bringing this on board, I feel like it's very great, and they are happy themselves. It's just like you being outcasted, and then somebody coming in for you, and then the person making you feel as if you are not being left alone. You still have somebody who loves you, somebody who cares for you, somebody who feels like, see, even though people are saying that you can't get that, but I believe in you. You can equally get there. So let's take our parents for example. Our parents are our number one motivators and our number one friends. For me, I see my parents to be my mentor. That is who they are to me. So that is the same way I feel like this disabled see President Mahama. We've had a lot of presidents that led Ghana, but we've never seen them bringing out such a very nice initiative. They are only bringing out like initiative that will cover everybody, but they are also humans. So covering from tuition to accommodation, goodness, tuition to accommodation, like
right.
So the extent that they'll increase their destiny from 3% to 5%. It's, for me, like it's a good one. It's a great one. As long as they are happy, everybody is equally happy because they are humans. If there is a national cake, we should all enjoy it together. So I feel like it's good. I just hope and pray that, as they said, some people, it's like the initiative is already there, but as it's not to everybody. So because when we spoke to some of the beneficiaries, one said he had enjoyed it. So it means like our did that, but it doesn't cover everybody. But now that the president has make it like legalize it or about to legalize it to help all disabled, I feel like it's a very good one.
One thing I wanted to ask was, how effective is this going to be? Because we don't want a case whereby if individuals are not going to apply themselves, but they are going to get the list of validated students who are actually valid students of those institutions, and then the government will pay these monies to the school directly. How effective is this going to be? And they are saying that this is something that has come to stay. What if different administration come and then there's like, is there anything that is going to make sure that this thing is not taken off, or a different administration will come and then they're also going to bring in new law?
I don't know, but when the president was speaking, he said it will be passed into law, where legislatives are going to sit on it and make sure that it's being passed.
So it will be part of the constitution.
It will be part of the constitution, where any government that comes on board will need to continue it, and it will not just end during the term of this current administration. And then he also said that people who are going to lead this particular initiative will have to account to the government. This money was disbursed to maybe this school to cater for this number of disabilities. Where the money given to them, you come and then you account to the government. So I feel like in a way it's going to be transparent.
Right. Miss Virginia.
Yeah. So I think this initiative is a one that would include everyone in the education sector. As they said, disability doesn't mean that you are not capable or you don't have the willpower to do it. I've seen instances where disability individuals or disabled individuals have made it to the top. For instance, when just recently some lawyers were called to the bar, as Debbie said, I saw one person in a wheelchair and I was like, oh wow, it means education is for all. Education shouldn't be a case where it's you can't say where you'll be there is for the all. And also you made mention of what if the next administration comes and they don't really pay attention to that or continue it. I think this is a time where they need to really sit down and amend the constitution. Sometimes I thought that things that are in the constitution, they don't really pay much attention to it. So I think excuse me, so I think this is a time where they need to sit down and really mend our constitution. I would say our constitution needs a whole overhaul because it's becoming too much. Things did come into administration, something has already been started and they would want to bring their own initiative on board, which I feel in a way it's good for them, but when it comes to the concerned Ghanaians or citizens as a whole, it really has a major effect on us. So I think it's time they amend the constitution. And also to people who are out there who are disabled, now this is the time where you would have to enjoy this benefits. Sometimes we have people who are disabled but they are from a rich background who are already enjoying whatever they need to enjoy from their families, but there are a lot of people who are disabled who have no support, both financial, moral support whatsoever. So I think it's the best one. So it is time for them before, so it is your own accord for you to come out willingly and apply for it. And when you apply for it, you need to take your education serious. The governments have done their best to bring accommodation and free fees. The only thing you have to do is to learn and make the president and yourself and your family proud. And on the parity in so it's up to them to also make a difference.
Right. And now, most importantly, how will we ensure that the society actually accepts these people?
They need to accept
beyond
them.
the classroom, because the government is accepting these people in the classroom. What about the society? Because sometimes you even sit in Trotsky and some people don't even want to sit close to these people who have issues, and it's very, very bad. It makes them feel as if they are less important or something.
Okay, so this accepting these people would have to do with individuals themselves. This is not something the government can impose on anyone. It shows how human you are.
Right.
It shows how you were brought up at home. Sometimes I always say enye bibiana eye education. Sometimes it's just your common sense and how you were brought up at home. Because you don't tell me that you've seen someone who is she's either a cripple, deaf, dumb, can't see, then you try to make that person feel less of themselves. It shows that you yourself, you were never loved at home. If you were loved at home, I'm not sure you would make someone feel hatred, or you make someone feel so less of themselves. So this has nothing to do with the government. It has to do with ourselves and ourselves only. There's one government school at our place, and there's a teacher who I normally see or chance upon all the time. The nine barco is very short, and the other one is normal, so he has to use crutches as you can say support. And sometimes when I see him, I was like, hey, so how does this man even teach? How does he even enter trotro? Because it would really be stressful. Looking at how some of these mates, they are not considerate. For trotro, they be do at them. So I was like, if only that government school, the headmaster can do something, because sometimes those people, they have a lot of favor from people. Transportation for him in and out. I think all those two, they really need to check those things. But as he said, how would they accept these people? And the government's not, it's the individual. So we urge the individuals to also be accepting. They shouldn't make it seem like they are only how would I say, they are only good to people who are normal. Yes, it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. And one thing that I also suggest to some of the schools is that if you know that there are actually people with disability in your school, you should build your school structure in a way that is going to favor these people. Because some schools, you go and then you have to use like 3 staircases before you get to your classroom, and it's very bad.
True.
So if you have these kind of people in your school, it's either you provide them an alternative. It could be a lift, or maybe you put them in classes like at the down classes that it will be easy for them to, go to class. Because I believe these are actually some of the challenges for persons with disability when it comes to educational sector and then all of that. Getting into the classroom is also like a problem. Good. So the government should look into that as well. Moving on. No hairstyles or long hair in schools, Education Minister declares. Education Minister Haruna Iddrisu has directed the Ghana Education Service and heads of second cycle institutions to take full control of students' behavior in schools. Speaking at the 75th anniversary celebration of Mauli School, the minister addressed growing concern over indiscipline following heated debate on social media about student hairstyle and grooming standards. He stressed that schools exist to mold character, not to host beauty contests. There is an ongoing debate on social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate today. We will not tolerate it tomorrow. In so long as we are molding character. If we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GES, you are cordially empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and will not tolerate that in any institution, he said. The minister, however, emphasized that teachers must exercise fairness and professionalism when enforcing school rules. He also warned that any teacher found abusing students would face sanctions. We will not tolerate indiscipline in our schools, including cases where teachers abuse learners. Any teacher found taking advantage of a student will face strict actions, he added. So that was coming from Education Minister. And I don't know if you've seen the debates going on social media, and I've seen some of our sister stations also taking to the street to ask people if it was necessary for students to actually cut their hair, or cut their hair to go to school. Is the hair really a distraction? And I think our education minister have actually chanced on that video and says that the school is not a beauty contest. Today, if they allow hair into the school, tomorrow they will say dress. They will be like, the dress is too long. We have to cut it short to make sure that these students are looking beautiful and very classy. So no long hair in school, no hairstyle. If you are going to school, cut your hair. Miss Gina, do you think putting on the hair is actually distraction? They said they do this to make sure that these people focus, so that students will focus on learning and not be, fidgeting with their hair. Do you think the hair is actually a distraction?
I would say the world is moving towards inclusivity and self-acceptance. And I think it's high time our education sector also practice that. Because see, I know beyond religion, in fact, in the Bible, women are supposed to wear long hairs. You are not supposed to cut your hair, according to the Bible. Into ube be in a religion or say me in tramity, me emphasis a saying committee. Obedu SHS na yesi chauti. How would you feel? And sometimes some people just skip that and just move into the private SHS, because for that place you have the chance to grow your hair how you want it. The hairstyle should not, how would I say, the hairstyle shouldn't affect learning. It's our attitude and discipline towards it. So are they trying to also say that those in the universities are not really intelligent, or those in the universities who grow their hair, who wear wigs, who braid their hair multicolors, are not intelligent, are being indisciplined or something? I understand them that it's a secondary school, and sometimes maintenance can also count a lot, because when you have braids on or when you just have the normal cornrow on, it takes a lot of time. It takes maintenance. You don't have to go to class looking all excuse me to say, all wretched and all shabby. You need to really look neat at all times. So in a way, I agree with the education minister, but looking at how he made the statement, I think it's a bit offensive. And then a bedroom next time na a squat attire, a bedroom next time na a shoe. The law should be the law. So are they trying to tell us that those who come with doctors' reports, they are not intelligent? Those who come with doctors' reports, you can't say they are not to meet the standards of the school. That was the same issue they had with this guy who had locks, Tony. Just last week, I saw his post when this thing was trending. I saw his post and he was like, Ghanaians' mentality or African mentality is that those who have locks are painted in a very bad manner. Now look at him. See where he is today. He has scholarship.
Yeah, he had
outside,
a scholarship to go outside.
and he's studying. What has the hair got to do with studying? What has the hair got to do with brains? What has the hair got to do with discipline and attitude? One video I saw, the young lady, her hair is, you can see very textured. Your money child, she was crying. Let me say, we are because people will actually buy that hair into wig. And I also saw Nakiat.
Yeah,
She also had to cut her hair. And I was like, it is fine. Sana omodi atete saying who school there was so chawuti, but should that be the norm? I think it shouldn't be the norm. Sisi anu ni biaba. You can maintain your own hair, do it something simple, and be going to school. Each and every day you wake up to bath. Each and every day you iron your clothes. These teachers or house mistresses provide things for us to make sure that we are okay. Why can't they provide the same thing? The only thing these people are thinking about is the discipline, the attitude, and lastly, the maintenance towards the hair. If maintenance towards the hair, say we go school for that first term, now you would have to wait till you come home. Or there are even some small shops set up for these students where you can go and cut your hair.
Right.
So when you go and cut your hair, when you go and braid your hair, what's the difference? And those who are in the school or who already have their hair braided, how are they maintaining the hair?
Do they have to leave campus?
They don't leave campus
every moment to go and maintain their hair.
They don't
and
leave
come back?
campus, but that is almost that it would increase or it will make indiscipline grow between these students.
Yeah.
And also some people will feel pressured. How would you feel pressured? Even if you want to braid, you to braid. But that shouldn't see. Our hairstyle has nothing to do with first of the attitude, the discipline, and also the intelligence of these students. So since inclusivity and also they can adapt.
That right, Mr. V. I know you've seen the trend.
Yeah, I did.
Of the young beautiful lady who was at the barbering salon and they were cutting her hair and she was crying. Education Minister has come to address it that the school is not a beauty contest. You are there to learn. So your hair there, it has to go low. So if they tolerate it today, tomorrow, what next would they have to tolerate?
So it would be you bringing heels to class.
You bringing heel to
and
classroom.
even makeup and stuff.
And they'll tell you that things are evolving.
Yeah.
Modernization about.
Yeah.
So students have to look classy, even sitting in classrooms. Yeah. What do you make of this whole hair thing, going to school with the hair?
It's boring.
Do you see it to be distracting, or would you rally behind what the education minister is saying?
Well, let me say this issue is not something that we should be going back and forth with, but in a way, you see, if you go to Rome, you do as they do. When you go to the Western world, let's say that is the nature of their hair. Even with that, we have people who do shave their hair as well. They go to class with their hair, they steady, and then they make it in life. We have schools that braid their hair. I do college. The ladies, they braid their hair, but they do cornrow. It's with your normal hair. You don't add any mesh or anything to it. It just has to do with your normal hair. When you come to the setting of Ghana or Ghanaians as a whole, our tradition, our customs regarding education, it has to do with from primary to SHS, no hair. You just have to shave your hair. When you get to the university, then you braid your hair. It is believed that from nursery to senior high school, you are still under the care of your parents. And it is believed that when you start doing that, you might end up, one, being distracted, and secondly, you not being distracted and you not also focusing. So, well, you braid your hair to school, and then when it's something like this, I said you are challenging the teacher.
You are challenging the teacher as a competition because teacher near twister, no rasta.
You get it.
Makubia was saying macaroni also then spring waves.
Yeah. When you braid then
spiral.
Not they are shame and then it make it looks beautiful.
Awesome.
So at that stage, when you have all this thing in mind, we have students that are already not focused in that. And then you braiding your hair again.
It's another buhara you are
yes adding. So in a way, it's not something we should discuss, but in a way I understand the education minister because our settings as Ghanaians do not allow that. Even if you are a foreigner and you want to attend your education or attend something that has to do with you enrolling yourself in Ghana education,
right? You
have to shave your hair, but in a way maybe they might consider it because maybe in a natural form, no, that is why I say they will consider because in a natural form that is how your hair is. There is no way you are going to shave it and you more keep your hair in this. But when it has to do with we the blacks, you have to and it's like that. You all went through. You have to shave your hair. And even let's take this JHS student for instance. Teacher tried and then you said that waiting. No train. One, you are distracting the person. And I'm not saying that when you go to the university, the reason why I say that university they allow you to braid your hair because they say that at that stage you are matured. You know what you're supposed to do. You know that when you don't study and all that you think is maybe dressing, makeup, when you get there, you go and write makeup and dress on the paper. Yes, because they know at the university, you know your right from your left. They know at the university, you take responsibility. You're no longer with your parents. And at the university, everybody see you to be matured enough. You see, even lecturers do not mind you. They don't have a say in whatever you do because you are on your own. But when it has to do with senior high school, JHS, primary, you are under the care of someone. And so whatever the person says is what you should do. In as much as we are saying that, well, you are not supposed to, like, you can braid your head and that is other school. If you go to South Africa, look at their dressing, uniform. Have you seen South African their uniform before? It's on their tie.
It's on their tie.
The skirt is on their tie.
But I mean, like, if your religion tells you that don't barb your head, then your religion should provide you with a school where when all of you go there, you not barb your head. Then you know that it's just only you that are there. But if you come into Ghana and then in our school system you are supposed to barb your, I feel like you should just go with that.
You should just go with that. And it's simple, no. That's what you're supposed to. If
I actually do not see any problem with this whole issue.
That is it. If I should go to South Africa right now and I want to enroll myself, maybe I want to continue with my education or something. There's a uniform.
Now Osha
The
says
uniform.
Osha zim no quiet. Yes, about
That is it.
they will laugh at you. They'll make you feel like an outcast
You get
because
it.
you're not dressing like them.
That is how they are. Look at all their uniform, like students. It's here, and I wonder how they sit. And when I was seeing a video at the comments, I say, "Hey, teachers, one man, your teachers, woo," because the way the skirt is just like you wearing something meaning to be dancing on. Let me say, Kwame Eugene, playing his music, and then you wear something short, hot. Their uniform, their skirt is hot. That is what they wear.
Right. So
when you go to Rome, you do as they do.
You do what they
Ghana
want.
said, senior high school, shave your hair, sister, shave your hair. That is where you want to be. You don't want to go and do your get your senior certificate, senior high school certificate in America, Canada, wherever. You said you want to do it in Ghana. As long as you want to do it in Ghana, you have to shave your hair.
That's why we have private
Simple.
schools. That's
And then-
where you go. They don't shave, so you can enroll
Yes.
your word to that, and leave our cake.
So yes,
Our cake system for us. For we, they will shave.
Yes, I understand. So
Right.
yeah.
Moving on to our last story. It's a bit lengthy, so I'm just going to summarize it and then we dive into that. Corruption fight sabotage by procured judges and judicial delays, Domlevo. Former Attorney General Daniel Domlevo says Ghana's fight against corruption is being sabotaged from within the judiciary. He alleged that some powerful corruption suspects are buying influence in the courts, using money and connections to delay trials until a change in government allowed their cases to quietly disappear. According to him, the goal isn't to win on merit, but to delay justice until it no longer matters. He claimed they can even procure judges. A judge may say, "I will keep adjourning your case until your party returns to power." Then it will be thrown out of court. Mr. Domlevo said this practice is robbing the state of billions in stolen funds. The money is still sitting in someone's pocket. Justice delayed is justice denied, he stressed. He is calling for urgent reforms in the justice system, including a strict 9 to 12 months limit for all corruption cases, sanction for judges who unnecessarily delay proceedings, and the introduction of a 24-hour court system to speed up trials and clear backlogs. He believes that with over 800 new lawyers called to the bar, there's enough manpower to make this possible, even if courts operate at night. But it raises some serious questions. How deep does judicial interference really goes? Do you agree with Mr. Domlevo? I mean, we've seen some cases being discontinued in this new administration. We've also seen some cases they term it as nulle prosequi. They allow the person go because they were able to retrieve much of that money without even prosecuting the person. They made the person go free of charge. And he also made mention that people also now pay judges to keep adjourning case, and he made a quote that justice delayed is justice denied, and that is very, very bad. Some people they do just to make sure that their party comes into power, and then
It will be favored.
they will be favored. what do you make of our judiciary system? Do you think it's really independent? Are we really ready to fight this issue of corruption? I think this since last week, corruption they are also buffer stock for NSS say 2.2 billion. Miss Regina, what can you say with regards to what Domlevo is saying?
Well, what he's saying it dear, make us say ampa.
A womb.
Because judges know, you say lawyers for your corrupt. To a point where our African mothers know that when lawyers die, they will have to bury them upside down.
Is that true or is a myth? Or is a myth? It's a myth. It's a myth.
Ah, say nipa ewu a no madane no.
Yes.
I want to go.
Okay, ebiana ebimoye.
Right.
But see, lawyers and judges, they need to really, should I say, uphold their integrity, because it's becoming too much. You can just buy these people at any time. Well, what Dom Level said is true.
It's true.
Because you see, said this case, the evidence ni na ye clear. Then there will be a adjourning case. Adjourning. I'll be like, so you people, what are you adjourning? You are adjourning. Sana, to say a similar by a foolish case.
Look at the NSS scandal.
Oh,
what are they waiting for?
Okay, we are here.
We are here. Case.
We are here.
What are they waiting for?
I don't know if you heard. Last week, I think Thursday or Friday, the young policeman who killed the girlfriend, Majwa.
2 years ago.
It wasn't even 2 years ago. That's a show.
2023.
He was now sentenced to life in prison. I was like, so what were you investigating? Because the evidence was there, the video was there. So what were you investigating? And a video of him came out where Okokoto Papa ya kesi me say, hey, no be out. Ye detain no dear. Oh yeah, then ye kesi say. Why fine? See, our judges and our lawyers, this is a time where they need to change their feathers. They should change their feathers, because that old feather that you were using to fly is so dirty. They need to change it. They need to unplug it and
replug
and plug another one in, because it's becoming too much. Honestly, it's becoming too much. When we talk about, sorry to say, we know policemen to be corrupt officials, but when we want to talk about another corrupt personnel, it has to do with the lawyers and the judges. Sometimes these people, the evidence is clear. It's there. They know that their clients did it. But obeya say law mudie ye free be self defense ni in same bia obetumi aka ebe go in favor of your client. Omobeya na sa asem na koye foolish case na nipa na oye victim no odi yaw. First off, Ghanaians no longer have trust in the judicial system, because we know that when the poor man comes, he or she would have a poorly and an unfair verdict towards him. But when the rich man goes, he or she can buy his or her way through the justice system, and it shouldn't be like that. Our law is known for no one is above the law. Our law is free and fair. But is that really the case? That is not the case. So what he's saying in there, I don't agree with him.
Right, Mr. Debbie, briefly.
So just as the way we are all calling for a review of the Constitution, I think the rule of law regarding the judiciary also needs to be reviewed.
Right.
Because what Domelevo is saying, he's right. He's not wrong. We've seen it. We've seen it in most instances where your case is in court and then you have to be going back and forth, and then the case kept adjourning till. And you going and coming, it's not like you going and just coming like that. You are supposed to be paying something. You've hired a lawyer. You've paid this lawyer every day. So long as they keep adjourning the case and you keep appearing, you have to keep paying this lawyer. And the most painful aspect is that after you've paid this lawyer a huge sum of money, the case is being dealt with, and then it's being revealed that the person that you actually reported to the court has been set free. But you know vividly well that this person is a culprit. So let's take this military man that was killed by his colleagues. Say yeah, Jenny case nani. And if a police officer was able to kill his girlfriend, and it has taken like 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years before this case was actually finalized, then it means that, and they can say that I wouldn't be surprised if this case will totally be solved somewhere in 2027. Oh yes, or 2028. Because as the case unfolds, so they are getting to know people, like more people who are into the crime. Right. It's like the more they do their research, the more they get to know that no, somebody is behind it, and so it keeps delaying the whole process. So I feel like that is why you see that they went out for the reporting. The man said he will go to Nananum because Nananum, they'll make it so easy for you.
Now the only thing that Ghanaians will obey in this country will be washroom, male and female.
Yes, it's true.
That's the only thing Ghanaians will obey now.
Politics, no, and I feel like most of this call to that is being politicized. So in a case where like the guy somewhere in 2021, where a guy butchered a young boy into the refrigerator and he was being imprisoned, allegedly we got to know that this guy was working for some politicians where he sold his body part to. And up to today,
we haven't heard anything.
The last time we saw him, I can see a friend in front of come on.
You see, it's to say,
prison.
It's a lot. Our judicial system is very, very, very slow. And as Mr. Domlebo said, justice delayed is justice denied. That shouldn't be the case.
Welcome to Davis Grow, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear or favor. Drivers and commuters in the Ashama municipality have expressed frustration over malfunctioning traffic lights that have turned several intersections into danger zones. They said the faulty signals are causing confusion and frequent accidents, calling on authorities to take swift action to restore order. Several major roads in Ashama have become hazardous for both motorists and pedestrians, as non-functioning traffic lights continue to cause near misses, especially during peak hours. A visit there shows that the municipality revealed key traffic lights at the Ashama traffic light junction overhead have all broken down. The situation has led to persistent traffic congestion, often forcing police officers to manually direct vehicles. Some drivers said the malfunctioning signals have caused multiple accidents and appealed for immediate intervention. The secretary of the Ashama branch of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union described Ashama as a rapidly growing commercial hub and underscored the urgent need for authorities to fix not only traffic lights but also street lights and roads in the municipality. The issue of faulty traffic lights. So for how long are we going to keep quiet and then watch people lose their lives? For how long are we going to keep mute and then watch accidents reoccurring on our streets before we will realize that no, we are doing more harm and good to the good people of this country, and so we need to fix traffic lights. I believe if the traffic lights, erecting of traffic lights on our streets is not necessary, it wouldn't be there. It is there because it is very, very needed. It reduces congestion of vehicles moving to and fro on our streets. Just imagine we living in a country where there is no traffic light. Like in every second, we will be recording accidents and people dying. Even now that we even have the traffic light, we still record accidents often on our streets. And if we know how important this traffic light is and the role it plays on our streets, why then do we have to wait So a lot of harm is being caused before we take a decisive action. I remember we report on traffic light issue on Odogono. Up to now, that traffic light has not been fixed. It has not been fixed. And sometimes you get there, you just need to be very careful and calculative. If not, you'll get knocked by a vehicle. Recently, a young girl nearly gets knocked by a vehicle, a running vehicle. Because the traffic light is faulty. No one is minding us. Nobody is saying anything. Even the students went on demonstration. Because their gate man got knocked. Just in front of the school. And it's as a result of the faulty traffic lights. They demonstrated, they said all they can. Authorities of the school spoke. We, the media, did our part. We went there to report. We spoke about the issue. But still, the traffic light is still there. It's not being fixed. And that is why I was very happy when the Greater Accra Regional Minister came up with such a nice initiative, saying that she was going to help streets that do not have this traffic lights in some parts of her constituency, and in the Greater Accra, she's going to, wrecked. And not meaning how far she has gone with that. And I think recently I heard her saying that she has mandated the district, municipal district chief, executives, the assembly to repair faulty traffic lights in their districts, in their municipalities, in their constituencies. The issues of faulty traffic lights. We need to take it very, very, very serious and fix it. The road as you see it is not made for only vehicles to be moving, no. Pedestrians also have their way. The moving vehicles also have their way. And sometimes if this traffic light is being faulty, when you get there, you are even confused. Especially a street where there is junction, then you see a vehicle coming from the right, from the left, that's one from the front and the back. You don't know who to go first, who to go last. Even when there is light out. Let's take Makati Junction for instance. When there is light out like this, you will see sometimes the drivers, they are confused. Because they don't know who to go first. They don't even know whether I should wait for this vehicle to pass. Everybody wants to go because they have a place to go, or maybe they have a program, or they have a deadline to meet or something. So everyone is in a hurry. And those are the times where we even need our police officers to be on the road and ensuring that everything is in check. You even see them on the streets. You will not see them on the streets. Please, so MTTDs, there is a role to play. There is a role to play. Ashama as it is very big. It's developing every now and then. People troop in and out just like the way you go to buy your stuff from Accra. The place is already congested with population of people. So if the people have raised alarm that this is what is going on, immediately we need to fix it. We have people who are in charge of this. You need to do your work very well. You shouldn't even wait. You see, that is why when we say that we live in a lawless country, people think that it's always about one thing or the other. But no, all this also counts. So sometimes you ask yourself whether when they drive in their vehicles, they don't see it. Or they see it and then they just bypass it. Or we see the accidents that has been killing people and the number of accidents we've recorded, we see it to be something normal. Or say a basic. But this is something that can be preventable. It can be preventable. So what can't we just prevent it rather than just folding our arms and then waiting for it to happen first before we take action? Why are we like that? Why are we like that? Sometimes you see people demonstrating for bad bridge, poor road. No one will take action. we'll just keep quiet till something very chaotic happen, where lots of people have lost their life. That is when we'll be like, oh, we've allocated money for this. Can you take an action? Do that. Do this. Do this. Do this. It is sad. It is very, very, very sad. This is killing people every day. Every day. People are dying as a result of faulty traffic lights. Traffic lights are just standing on the street. They are not functioning. And we need to do something about it. We need to fix it and make it work. And as I said, if the traffic light has no role to play, it won't be erected on our street. It has a role to play, and the role it has to play is very crucial. That is why we have it on our streets. If we want more people to die, then we should just keep quiet and then watch matters unfold. But don't forget, maybe the next person will be your relative. So the better you fix it, it's going to help all of us. Thank you for making time with me on this.
The better you fix it is going to help all of us. Thank you so much, Miss Debbie. Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Today in History, Catalan Declarations of Independence. On October 1st, 2017, the Catalan government held an independence referendum, which the Spanish government and court declared illegal. Despite this, many Catalans voted, and the majority supported independence, though turnout was low due to police intervention and a boycott by opponents. On October 27, 2017, the Catalan parliament voted 70-10 to declare independence. Saint Vincent and the Grenadines gained independence, becoming the last of the Windward Islands to do so. This event followed a referendum under Milton Catu and marked the country's transition from a British associate state to a fully sovereign nation. Quakers executed for religious beliefs. William Robinson and Marmaduke Stevenson, two Quakers who came from England in 1656 to escape religious persecution, are executed in the Massachusetts Bay Colony for their religious beliefs. The two had violated a law passed by the Massachusetts General Court the year before, banning Quakers from the colony and the penalty of death. Mafia boss John Gotti is born. He rose to power as the head of the Gambino crime family, one of the most powerful mafia organizations in America, known as the Dapper Don for his expensive suit and flashy style, and later as the Teflon Don, because charges against him often didn't stick. Gotti became a notorious figure in the 1980s. In 1992, he was finally convicted of murder, racketeering and other crimes, largely due to testimony from his underboss Sammy the Bull Gravano, and was sentenced to life in prison without parole. He died in 2002 while serving his sentence. To some observers, Boxer Shorts Day. This day celebrates all types of underwear, including boxers, briefs, and sports bra, and encourages people to wear their favorite pair or buy new ones. Cranky Co-worker Day. To provide an outlet for the annoyance caused by negative or difficult colleagues. It is intended to acknowledge the presence of cranky co-workers by either letting them be, enduring them with humor, or for a day joining in on the grumpiness and letting off some steam. Occupational Therapy Day. is celebrated to raise global awareness of the profession and to honor the work of occupational therapists. The day highlights how OTs help individuals of all ages overcome physical, psychological, or social obstacles to participate in daily activities and live more independently. It's all about helping people improve their ability to do daily tasks and live as independently as possible. It's focused on helping you accomplish all your routine tasks and do your favorite activities safely. Lastly, World Day for Audiovisual Heritage, to raise awareness about the importance of preserving audiovisual materials such as films, radio, and television programs, sound recordings, and videos which capture the cultural, historical, and social heritage of humanity. And that's all for today on Today in History and Some Observances live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and Some Observances of the Day. And thank you for joining us on the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We'll be coming up with the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be coming with the main discussion. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. GhanaTalks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare.
Regina Bless.
Deborah Adoso.
And I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio. Ghana Talks Radio, #1. We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
Welcome to the morning news broadcast on Ghana Talks Radio. Minority criticized government's proposed law to criminalize free speech. Ministry of Education cracks down on unruly hairstyle. Baumia confident of 90% vote in the MPP flag bearer race. Ghana steps up fight against polio. Government to borrow 75 billion from domestic market in the fourth quarter of 2025. These and many more coming up your way shortly. Minorities up in arms over government's proposed amendment to the Cyber Security Act to minimize free speech. According to them, the law would target online comment deemed offensive. The proposed law will make it an offensive to share comments that are deemed. The minority argues that this will have a chilling effect on speech. The former Minister for Information, Kojo Ponkrumah, believes the move sets a dangerous precedent for encroaching on free expression.
To say that what we are seeing appears to be a draft, and that they want to consult on that draft. From what I have seen as a former information minister, this draft is dangerous, though it's not surprising. And let me explain why it's not surprising. It's not surprising because I think the president first announced it, that they are going to use the national security apparatus to go after people who make comments on social media that they consider, for whatever reason, whether it's under hate speech or it's under whatever, they consider it unfavorable. They're going to search for your IP addresses and then get the security apparatus to go after you. The president himself said it. So it's not surprising that his minister is now following up with a draft bill with such wild provisions in there. What is dangerous about it is that over the last set of decades, various countries have been moving away from criminalizing speech. There are other remedies for speech that may be deemed unfavorable, most of them civil, but not necessarily criminalizing it. And that's why you recall that even the Criminal Libel and Sedition Act was repealed by the Kufuor administration. There are still remnants of laws that still seek to criminalize speech. For example, this law that is being used a lot, publication of false news, with intent of causing fear and panic. It's one of those laws that actually still needs to be repealed. Instead of repealing that to advance, democratic freedoms, the government is now seeking through this draft that it wants to consult on to enact legislation that will now even ensure that when you put up a comment in your chat groups and they find it offensive according to their criteria, you could go to jail. And I think it's a very dangerous, encroachment into the area of free speech. The government needs to tread cautiously. I'm hopeful that when the consultations start, the government will see wisdom in backtracking and ensuring that instead of rather seeking to further criminalize speech, even the remnant laws on criminalization of speech should be repealed.
Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, has retreated that senior high schools will no longer condone with hairstyles. Speaking at Mauli's 75th anniversary celebration, he emphasized that discipline and proper grooming are non-negotiable. According to him, schools are institutions for modeling character, not hosting beauty contests. While critics questioned its potential impact on individuality and self-expression, others support the emphasis on discipline.
There is an ongoing debate in social media about haircuts and size and length of hair in secondary schools. We will not tolerate it today, we will not tolerate it tomorrow, and so long as we are molding character. If we give in to hair today, tomorrow it will be shoes, and the next day it will be the way they dress. Therefore, as part of our disciplinary measures, headmasters and GS, you are accordingly empowered to take full control of how students behave on your campuses. So anybody who thinks that your child will walk into any institution of learning as if that child, forgive my words, was to attend a beauty contest, the school environment is not for that purpose and not cut for that purpose, and we would not tolerate that as an institution.
The new Patriotic Party flag bearer hopeful Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has expressed confidence in securing 90% of votes in Tano North. He made this assertion during a campaign visit to the area to appreciate delegates for their support. He emphasized continuity, inclusiveness, and innovation as core principle of his campaign.
Efie enefie me pese me damo nyina ase 2023 mo gina machipa 84%. Nyame nhyira mo nyina me damo ase pese me ka kire mo se de mo gina machi no 2026 January 31st Monkono sana mumpeja na yankudu 90%. Munyinan munim se minimum na ye ko presidency no. Mikodu ha musuma kronia ewo ho. Enti ye nyina na ebedi presidency no. Kukudu.
News, Kennedy Ohene Japan has revealed that opportunities will be available to both certificate holders and non-certificate holders under his leadership. He highlighted the needed skills, hard work, and opportunity in securing employment. The former Member of Parliament promised to create an environment where both educated and uneducated can thrive, urging voters to choose wisely. In other news, Chairperson of the Ghana National Polio Plus Committee, Gertrude Adjo Akpalu, has reaffirmed Ghana's commitment to eradicate polio at 99% in recent years. To achieve total eradication, the committee, in collaboration with Rotary International, the World Health Organization and UNICEF, is intensifying efforts through nationwide vaccination drives and public awareness campaign. The Ghana Health Service has also launched polio vaccination campaign in high-risk areas.
We have come together to ensure that we continue to fight to eradicate polio. Polio right now is 99% eradicated. We are left to 0.1%, and we need to push our efforts to really strengthen our efforts, which is meaning that we need to come together, support what we call routine immunization. The polio vaccine is given as part of routine immunization. Come together, support efforts to ensure that all children in Ghana receive their polio vaccination. Ghana is wild polio free. We have declared wild polio virus free. Okay. And also, we've had pockets once in a while of the circulating vaccine-derived polio virus, but we are declared. Currently, we have only 2 countries in the world which have polio virus, which we call the endemic countries, Afghanistan and Pakistan. As we stand here today, we have a total of 39 cases, and we hope that by next year, or by 2027, we will have eradicated polio. So the reason why we are here is to create awareness, to inform and educate the public that, yes, even though we don't have polio in Ghana, or Ghana is a wild polio virus free certified country, we are what? We need to work together to make sure that that last 0.1%.
In business, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center (GIPC) has begun its regional investment roadshows to promote district-level investment opportunities and boost economic growth across the country. Anchored in the center's investment opportunity mapping project, the initiative seeks to identify and promote investment-ready ventures in all 261 districts, with a strategic focus on regional diversification and sustainable development. The first phase of the roadshows will take place from October 27th to 30th in the Volta and OT regions, with events scheduled at the University of Health and Allied Sciences in Ho and the Bosachu Hotel in Dambai. Teamed driving local investment, unlocking regional potential. The sessions will spotlight key opportunities in manufacturing, agribusiness, tourism, and renewable energy. Through business-to-business engagement, company visits, and project presentations, the GIPC aims to connect local entrepreneurs with both domestic and foreign investors, fostering partnerships that enhance value chains, drive innovations, and strengthen regional economies. Ahead of the launch, the GIPC board, led by its chairman, Dr. Kwesi Oponfosu, met with members of the Volta and OT Regional Caucus and Parliament to present the objectives of the initiative and secure legislative support for regional investment promotion. Lawmakers from both regions commended the center's approach and pledged their commitment to ensuring the success of the roadshows. The Chief of Staffs, Julio Debra, will deliver the keynote address on behalf of President John Dramani Mahama, reaffirming the government's commitment to inclusive growth and regional empowerment. GIPC's Chief Executive Officer Simon Maji has expressed and also expected to highlight viable investment prospects aligned with the government 24 economy policy, which seeks to enhance productivity, create jobs and boost economic resilience through stronger public-private cooperation, serving as a precursor to the Ghana International Investment Summit. The regional roadshows are also expected to reinforce Ghana's reputation as a leading destination for global investment. The government also plans to borrow 75.7 billion from the domestic market between October and December 2025 as part of effort to meet its public sector financing needs and refinance manufacturing and maturing debt. According to the latest issuance calendar released by the Bank of Ghana, about 67.5 billion of the amount will go towards rollover maturities, while the remaining 8.2 billion represent fresh issuance to support government expenditure and fiscal operations for the fourth quarter. The central bank says the borrowing will be executed through the regular issuance of 91-day to 182-day and through to 364-day treasury bills, alongside possible reopening of existing bonds under the domestic debt exchange program, depending on market conditions. In addition, the move aligns with government's broader debt management strategy aimed at deepening domestic capital markets, lengthening debt maturity profiles, and enhancing transparency in public borrowing. To sports, Ghana Premier League side Nations FC have announced the club's plate with head coach Kasim Okansi. In shocking fashion, the club announced that assistant head coach Johnson Smith is leaving the team. Nation FC says the split with the Venturian coaches was mutual. Kasim's sack came after Nations 3-0 league over 11 Wonders FC in a home tie at Abrikasi. Forward Emmanuel Arnold scored all the 3 goals for Nations. Kasim Mengo becomes the latest head coach to lose his job in the Ghana Premier League this season after defending league champions Bibiani Gold Stars sacked Stephen Frimpong Manso in the opening match of the 2025-2026 season. Nations FC have mutually parted ways with both head coach Kasim Okansi and assistant head coach Johnson Smith. We appreciate them for their service to the club. The club will not make any further commitment, the statement said, and that Miguel Nations narrowly missed out on winning the league title in the 2024-2025 season and ranked 12th in the league 7 games into the season. Nations have 2 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses. And that is how we end it for now on the morning news broadcast. Do want to log on to all streaming platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news updates. I will be back with subsequent news bulletin later in the afternoon. Until then, do have a good morning.
To amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond. Partner with GhanaTalks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With GhanaTalks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. GhanaTalks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com ghanatalksradio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
Ghana Talks Radio, I UK Abrochimemu, era from Ghana Muha at the sound system, which is spinning machine papa, a free amana never be good among Ghana Muha. It is a we a year, we engagement, we wedding, we birthday party. Political parties are more rally, some way sorry, a more crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boss sound in the moon at the dia and you may come for GTR sounds at the Emao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame, ya beat me abababua. Ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Ya wa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi anse wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu de angaza.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Good morning to you once again. You are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. You're welcome to the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And as you know it, on the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show, we come in with knowledgeable guests who will dive into the issues and share their perspectives and opinions on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. This morning we have a bunch of topics that we would like to look into. And of course, as you know it, we'll dive into it, they'll share their opinions, and then you can also send in your comments on our socials at Ghana Talks Radio on YouTube, at Ghana Talks Radio on Facebook, X, and Instagram as well. Good morning once again, and good morning to my lovely guests. Good morning. Yeah, so let me introduce them to you here. So this morning we have in our midst Mr. Abdul. I won't mention the name because I find it a bit difficult. So you have to mention that side yourself. So Mr. Abdul, who is the NDC communication member for Dome Kwabena. Right. And we also have Mr. Nana Kwabena Quantin, NPP youth activist. Good morning to you all. You're welcome. How are we doing?
Yeah, good, and you?
I'm fine. I just have a bit of cold, but I'll be fine. Yeah. Mr. Abdul?
Yeah, we are doing fine.
You're doing fine.
I believe Ghana is doing fine as well.
Oh, how is the system treating you, by the way?
Oh, it's been fantastic to me.
Right.
You look at how peaceful and cohesive Ghanaians have been.
Mm-hmm.
To each other, and we are still striving and striding. Okay, so we are good.
We are
As
good.
a matter of fact,
you manage.
We are heading towards Christmas festivities.
Yes.
And you still have we still have our CD performing stronger against the dollar.
we still are recording a single-digit inflation. Okay. Government has not gone on borrowing spree
Yet.
You
Yet.
know, we are still rolling. So it's been positive.
It's been positive.
And I think I want to also talk about the performance of the MPP in
let me finish with Mr.
Because they deserve some.
He should say something at least for his people. Then you come in with that. I don't want to be biased.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
All right. So let me first extend my greetings to the party leadership, the new patriotic party.
Yeah.
And also to all the aspirants who are willing to lead the party in the next general election. I'm just pleading that there will be decent and more flexible in their speeches.
Because it looks like there's fire on the mountain within these people.
So if Team A wins, Team A will need Team B. If Team B wins, Team B will need Team C.
Right.
So they need to put themselves together for victory.
Okay.
When you are together, you are stronger. But when you depart, you have lightweight. Right. So I'm just pleading that they should put themselves together for victory.
I'm happy for the fact that you have admitted that
yes,
there's fire on the mountain there.
Because you hear this team
bashing the other, and
it doesn't look good.
It doesn't not
because
at all.
All these people are high-profile men of the New Patriotic Party.
Good.
And we are the grassroots, and we are looking up to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if such men are portraying such characters on air, on TV, one-on-one, it doesn't look well.
It doesn't look well. I agree.
So I'm pleading that whoever wins, he will need other team to back him up for the next general election. Until be and supporting him with a decent campaign messages.
Right.
Because we are all behind Osnono. And you can't even go out to campaign without the elephant logo.
Right.
But the logo speaks more about you. And the logo is the one carrying you as a political entity.
So you're fighting for the same goal, the same objective. So why don't you come together as a united party and then fight for that objective?
That's what this is.
So me bompa is after 31st January. Whoever wins, coming together
is winning for the party.
Because as I said, I have my candidates and come another fellow MPP, also one candidate. But it doesn't. You're all from the same
political party.
Do you get to tell us who you are?
Please, that's not.
But it is a democracy, right?
Oh yeah, I can tell you. I'm Team DMB.
That's
okay. That is
Dr.
the mate who wants to become a driver now. Yes.
So if I have colleagues who are in Kent and Brian, that's fine.
It's fine. Everyone is obligated to have their own party. Right.
Okay. You know, I was commending the MPP in Parliament.
In Parliament,
yes,
which is a minority.
Yes. As a matter of fact, you see,
the whole of them or the minority leader.
You see, for the majority, we are in power. We wield, a significant majority. Okay, but our friend Martin is doing well. You see, when you are in opposition, especially with that little number, you may sound, excuse my language, you may sound stupid sometimes. But the guy, Afeni Markin, is very smart. And I like what he's doing.
What is he doing?
Like always dragging the feet of government to accountability.
Yes.
Always ensuring that the MPP or the minority is not left out in, he's always portraying a very strong, So in fact, I admire Afeni Markin. But you see, I really sympathize with the MPP as a whole, political entity.
Why? Who died?
They are going into, they are in opposition with a very weak, very fragile, front. Okay, as it is now.
Why do you say
even
it's
the leadership
fragile?
of the party is disorganized.
Right.
Now, then you look at people who are vying to hold positions of presidential candidates in their party. I'm sorry, my brother.
Oh, don't
but you see, DMB, That is Dr. Bamia, right?
Yes.
Hey, yeah. The people lined up to contest for that position, all of them are problematic.
Isn't that word too a bit harsh?
Okay. Excuse my language.
No, let him choose his words.
Let me retract because this is a very big platform.
Yeah.
Okay. All of them have a lot of baggage
or issues closed door,
yes,
like behind doors.
Look, Dr. Bamia, he was touted as close to or almost the best economist we ever had in our political dispensation in Ghana. But he was handled the leadership of the mantle of leadership for this economy. He ran the economy aground to the extent that not less a person than President Akufo-Addo himself admitted that it's true. They have run down the economy. I always make reference to the video that was in circulation when they were holding their presidential aspirant elections. Nana Addo went to their party headquarters, and you journalists brought a mic closer to his mouth to ask him, we are going into 2024 elections, and the economy doesn't look good. He said yes, he admits that the economy is bad, but he's expecting the next president to come and fix it. So it's a clear admission that they ran the economy aground, and the responsibility, is anchored on the shoulders of Vice President Bawumia then, because he is the head of the economic management team, and he wasn't even quiet. They were touting him as the best. He moved the dollar from 3 cedis 90 pesos to almost 17 cedis. He moved an inflation of 18%. He moved it up to within the regions of 30, 40. You understand? He has to, people, Ghanaians should be asking him questions. You bring Dr. Brian Achampo as, excuse my language, a mere minister of state, a Greek minister. He intended buying state assets.
So in short, are you trying to say that these people actually are not competent?
He was trying to buy state assets as a minister. What will happen to state assets when he is now the president, commander-in-chief? I know he will lease the Jubilee House. He will lease, in fact, he will sell everything, to himself. Now, then you bring Kennedy Japan, who people are tipping. At least he was intelligent enough to disassociate himself from the government. You understand? But come to think of it, this was a man who was calling one tribe to rise against another. And you know how, the unitary government we run, the state of peace, stability, oneness of purpose. And yet, Kennedy was telling the people of Ashanti region that says, I'm quoting verbatim, before more Ashanti region will beat them. Will be rush up for the shiny team. I declare war in this country. As a mere member of parliament, he had the guts, the temerity to declare war in Ghana, a country he wants to be president over. This is bad business. You cannot. You see, so we are urging the MPP. At least they should look for some other candidates to present them for the wellness of Ghanaians. We are talking as Ghanaians, so I love Ghana. I even love MPP. As I sit here, look, all my aunties, from my senior aunties, in fact, majority of them, they are MPP. They are not ordinary MPP members, so they have wielded party positions in the MPP before. The former member of parliament for Ejura, Bamba, He's my cousin, direct cousin. But you know, I can't say because of family tradition, you know, I'll be supporting people who will come and run down our economy, people who will come and balkanize us. So I sympathize with them, MPP.
Right.
But it is well.
Mr. Cointon, yeah.
Just let me tell my brother that.
Okay.
Just before the end of the election last year,
yes,
we had a president. We had a former president.
Okay.
Who went to Boko and said, anytime MPP are in power, the Boko war escalates.
Yes.
This very year, IGP went to Boko. They shot his V8. Up to date, have you heard anything from that?
But the problem of Boko is being solved.
Hold on. You've heard about the escalation of war at Boko. So right now, which political party is in power?
The NDC.
Okay, you please hold on. Okay, just last year, John Dramani Mahama said,
President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. In fact, you have to add the best president ever.
He will never be the best president ever in this country.
My brother, his worst record.
Please,
it's okay.
Allow him to.
You know what? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Very good, fantastic.
John Dramani Mahama said Ghanaians can't afford terrace square meal. Na dokono kwa boy into about the dokono 1 cedi.
Can you produce that?
Oh, come on.
Evidence?
He said that.
No, you just produce evidence.
Just hold on. He said that.
Last week your colleague was here. He was giving evidence.
No. He said that.
Oh no.
He said that.
Please.
Let's listen. He said that at Bukum or.
Oh no.
Oh no. Hold it. He said that at Bukum or.
There is no record to that effect.
The only point to dokono. Tamana wo abem na dokono 1 cedi. No, into about back to 1 cedi. And then dokono is now. I say Tamana is please hold on. Tamana wo abem. I say ofi abem na cement bag is 30 cedis. Into about abem obesa me ato cement bag back 30 cedis.
Oh, he said all those.
No, please, you are in the media.
Are there videos? Because I've heard speculation, but I haven't seen any video of President Mahama saying that.
A picture of that so that you can broadcast it.
It could be just a picture, but it would be better if we have a video of him saying
making
it
those
himself.
statements.
Then
because you see, the strategy, the propaganda strategy you guys are employing.
You are coming between my time.
Yeah.
In fact, you have not even started, so this is just
But you still have to, because he was very, very quiet whilst he was speaking.
You see, talking about, I don't know why NDC likes to talk about Dr. Baumia like that.
Oh, he's not the only person I've spoken about.
Oh, come on, Mr. Abdul.
No, like, I say, they have the fear and panic in that man.
Oh.
This man, I can say, my champion to the politics up to now, who so useful. Mama be a vice president, they don't tell me as a vice president.
Okay, I'm putting off your mic since you won't allow him to speak.
No, Mama be a vice president. Only me and never call me as a vice president. Oh, Ghana has it. Now, Mr. Name idea Dr. Baumia as a vice president. In this panel, what you to me say economy was down. To say Nema Jinsama. What you to my auntie, then I did be as a more bonnet as a musro. And NDC are projecting Ken over DMB because they have nothing to talk about DMB again. First, I'm saying anyway, Onyagani, Ofi Beni, Ofi Niger, Ofi Dr. Baumia Karapono, Onye MPP ni, na se for NDC ni, and na say Kofo, Mr. Kofo, Ekufo da Kofo free Bank of Ghana, and I said insane beverage.
This is not the fair please.
No, but he was very quiet whilst he was speaking to you.
What he's speaking to is not factual.
What makes you think this is not factual?
Do you know why? Please, this statement he's making was not made by NDCU. Kobana Japan has made similar statement. Abronye, I say Abronye, the say Abua Papon made the same. They were making these statements over the weekend.
I've listened to NDC communicators. They were so hating on Samuel Baumia, Onyegani, on Fatasobe, Ghana First Lady.
First Lady, and then all of that.
Please don't say that.
Obi Okra public identity. Ghana card near daddy. And again, now, so before you can become a citizen, your name, you must be born here.
Yeah.
What I said. You must hold public identity cards. I just saw you're gonna meet. She has it. And then, why is this so attack coming on? Because NBC are projecting Ken over DMB.
Hey.
And do you know why? When that happens, when Ken wins, now all Ken videos are 77 ODD Martin 77 or Bassi. They will be projecting that video, and that will be their campaign message.
Their campaign message.
Old or Sabi or Bass and Mokotoma any power. So what they are doing is they are projecting Ken over DMB because only him say Ken we need pay. Now they'll be withdrawing all Ken's videos while abusing him kasa finia then they'll only message be out because they'll be bringing a first time flag bearer. And you know on the Ken videos beba they normal play now I catch on for say omuntis 77 nipo young person kotoma man. Because Dr. Baumia won the first election. It was last year. Omo can want some sir. Hey, Omo can want some sir. Omo can want some sir. What is say papa na babontin abe responding to any. Why din? And this also be out. And who me say oba babontin abe issue this.
As we speak, Baumia is responding to his own party people who are chastising him.
The man is fighting his own political inbuilt issues. What I say. Ebi more party no omo one na ho ekika no nsem ne alade nti ohwese obe close obe more unity aba nti attending to external factors senior NDC for because it's last year it was so bad.
It was bad.
It was so bad. You am papa no nsem ne year and I say papa no ne year back $4,000 and
but you see if you're in the public space definitely people will talk about you. But all this is propaganda. It all depends on how the candidate is actually going to welcome some of those comments and as to whether to respond to them or not.
I dissent from the view because this cannot be propaganda.
John Dramani Mahama Kacha
President John Dramani Mahama.
President His Excellency
very good.
John Dramani Mahama Kacha any serious government can end Galamsey in a week. And say me ba and say or your true or not true.
Onya truthful. Onya truthful.
You shouldn't take side. Say or your true or not true.
Onya truthful.
I can't just judge say or your
but you can't just judge, but you can just give some credit to the government.
Said
if this sitting government can take credit, then you wait to me so a discredit on. Yes, because I'll say too early for a government to be discredited there. Then and when you answer, you can also credit a government.
No. You are not understanding the issues, my brother. This is simple.
Mama said any serious government can end Galamsey in a week.
Listen,
you see
the issue of Galamsey.
Don't be like
I don't want us to venture into.
Did he say it or not?
Did he say it or not?
Do you know?
No, did he say it or not?
No. Listen.
No, you not answer the question. No, did he say it or not?
It is not his stance. In fact, it was everybody, including myself. Because you could have done it because, as at then, everything was showing that the government was complicit. Government was sponsoring. Government was resourcing the Galamsey menace.
Boy, are you having evidence to what?
Yes. For a president to give accent, approve an ally that will allow people to go into forest zones and mine illegally, that is an evidence enough. You understand? Say a tea baby na president's okay, my mom won't quine, which Marco to for my good year quiet. The highest level of irresponsibility in the fight against corruption, this in Galamsey. You understand? So this evidence is that is one.
So Mahama
Wankasa, my dear, Samran, we had evidence, or it was so clear that you bet me up on Etia Galamsey.
You say our win MP or Shebush A2 Galamsey. You report the petition from Mahama up to date. National organizer, Yamin or Galamsey. Are you aware?
It's not true. When say station where they are more intelligent, they can just take themselves out of
the
we are maybe work with pure court. Nothing now one
their petition come mama say Joseph Yamin.
Who petitioned President Mahama?
Who petitioned President Mahama? Oh dear, me send no petition.
Copy of the petition.
Right up, no.
Would they send my name from to because no okay there you be bundle you na me
listen. I will win MP
police case.
Ogusu too. Galamsey.
You Martin. But the most important thing is that as for Galamsey issues, don't come there because you guys will fail on any discussion, on Galamsey. We are doing well. So, as a matter of fact.
So Ghana water. Fix MP plus 8 years. Ghana water.
My brother, no, you see, Muma pencil and a beer tapper. Not a pie basa. You see, one videos no. One videos no. Oh my brother, Galamsey, remember? When is it Ghana? Hey, my gracious God. Galamsey fight.
Mo communicate about
Masa,
not trying to fight Galamsey position.
It's not true. It's never true. But do you understand what you are discussing?
I'm saying that Galamsey fight more fairly.
Any woman propaganda.
Yes. All right.
Galamsey, as I say, it is the most unattractive thing to do in Ghana here.
Ghana. That is ongoing. You are saying it's unattractive thing to do.
Mauni have been no quite na here. Someone here. Me person make us bebre.
Okay.
See more elections. Mon kan okre. Uni me person mutumufo. Sisi ye kase Nyankopon ohun wa hya ase ekun lokun. Ntini ebe ni ebe boa mo ne se mo hya ase nka nokre. Na Nyankopon aspe mo.
On spare mo.
Okay.
Na mo apart ebe si mo party ni munye hunyo.
Oh.
Apart ebe ba
your leadership.
All right. Okay. All right.
Your party no leadership.
Yo.
Apart it me affect yes sir.
Yeah, say apart ni leadership for Edamase. So there was an issue that came up last week, and then I would just like to seek your opinion on that before we dive into our major topics for this morning.
You've spoken about it here before,
but you don't even know what
I know what you want to talk about.
Which is
about the language.
Oh no, it's not a language. So government has ordered that all public universities renamed under Akufo-Addo will have their original names restored, according to Mahama Ayariga. The move, revealed by Mahama Ayariga, follows a cabinet decision to remove names of individuals from public universities and bring back their old identities. And a bill will soon be sent to Parliament to make it official. Yeah, so before I come to you, I would like to ask why your government decided to change the names of these already established universities to different names. Was that really a need?
This wasn't a topic sent to me.
It was just, by the way, it's just a general something.
Opinion,
it's just a general something that I'm just asking your opinion on.
Well, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
All right.
As a matter of fact, public institutions, places have originality in terms of its nomenclature. There is a good reason why we name places, with a particular name. So it is absolutely unnecessary for a government to come, instead of concentrating on the most important thing. Their interest was to distort the history around certain events, around certain people, we don't do that. Look, when you go to foreign lands, places that were christened with a specific name had remained so till today. Where will you come? And we originally, the Flagstaff House, since independence, it was Flagstaff House.
It was Flagstaff House.
Yes, there was a reason for that. And that was actually the seat of government then. That was where Nkrumah was residing. And it served as his office and his private, I don't know whether there is some financial benefit or financial, will I say, heist or theft to changing or people can make money through changing names,
and
then change. Because when you change the names, you change a lot of things about the place. So it will require money, and people can be able to siphon public funds. But it's needless.
You think it's irrelevant?
It's irrelevant
for them to. But these people, they mentioned that these people are also historians of the country. That is why they had to, at least
their figures, their
give
past
them
figures.
some sort of like a monument or remembrance.
So the most intelligent thing to do is create a new infrastructure
and name
them after,
rather than changing the old ones that is already on top of mind of people.
You see, my dear,
Kwame Nkrumah University to be Kwame Nkrumah University.
Exactly.
You come into power and then you change.
You want to change it. You don't do that. You see, me, I love economists, and with my understanding of economics, we have to expand in our economic, activities. So just create a hospital. No, if the person was a pilot, why don't you endeavor to build one of the biggest airports and name it after the person?
After that person.
If the person was a medical practitioner, why don't you endeavor to build the biggest hospital, even for one particular disease, or the person's area of specialty?
Right.
You understand? And name it after the person. Rather than go about changing names, Jubilee Park, Jubilee what? Oh, come on, we don't do that.
Right.
I don't know why the MPP is always interested in trivialities. These are very trivial matters government should not concern themselves with.
Right.
It's pathetic, my dear.
So you're happy for the fact that Mahama Yaraga has come out to say that?
Because of the capital, injections with regards to some of these things, those that have, prestigious history should be, relooked, given the original identity. Those that will not have any consequences on our history, we should just leave them like that.
We should just leave them.
Because of the financial burden that will come, the concomitant financial burden. So we should just leave those that are unimportant. But those that its history must be preserved, we have to.
So as you mentioned, it would have been advisable for the former president to have just built more infrastructure
and name it after them. Maybe you want to have your uncle, your uncle's name, embedded in our history. Just do something, extraordinary, and Christian or label it with their, credentials.
Right. Thank you. Do you still have something to say about that? You rather not talk about that.
Not talk about
because he will implicate himself and his party will not be happy.
Oh no, not that.
Don't worry, that's fine. Okay, so I think we just dive into the major discussion for this morning, because I wouldn't want to bring up another topic and I wouldn't hear from him. That would be me not being fair on that side. Yeah, so for our topic for discussion this morning, this is actually coming from Mr. Domlevo, right? And it has to do with corruption fights, sabotage by procured judges, and judicial delays. He made mention, I have the article here, let me just read it briefly for you before you talk about it, so you have a fair idea of what Mr. Domlevo said. So Ghana's former Auditor General, Daniel Domlevo, has delivered a critique of nation's anti-corruption efforts, alleging that the fight is being deliberately undermined by a judicial and a political financial manipulation. Mr. Domlevo did not spare the legal fraternity, claiming that highly resourceful corruption suspects are employing powerful lawyers and procuring judges to ensure indefinite delays until a favorable change of governments facilitates the collapse of these cases. So he made these remarks on TV3. That was on Saturday. So the respected anti-corruption crusader insisted that unless the judicial system undergoes radical and urgent reform, the retrieval of stolen funds will remain impossible. Mr. Domlevo laid bare the alleged strategy used by politically connected individuals accused of high-level corruption. The goal, he contends, is not to win the case on merit, but to stretch the proceedings across electoral cycles, exploring Ghana's partisan political system. Now, he gave a general proposal of radical reforms to expedite the prosecution of some of these corruption cases. He made a proposal that time limits and penalties. He proposed a strict time frame for completion of corruption cases, regardless of their complexity, arguing that judges who fail to meet this standard should face severe sanctions. He also proposed a maximum of 9 to 12 months for corruption cases, with penalties for judges who exceed that period without justified reasons. He believes that judges who stretch cases beyond a year should face misconduct proceedings, holding them personally accountable for procedural delays. He also proposed that a 24-hour justice system to handle the increased workload and clear the corruption case backlog efficiently. He called for the immediate operationalization of a 24-hour justice system, and that was coming from Mr. Domlevo. He said that when you look at the corruption cases as it stands right now, it looks like people are actually paying their way out. They are paying the judges and they are paying the lawyers to make sure that they prolong this case and wait for a particular political party to come into power, and then they just quash the case, and that is it. And he made a quote that justice delayed is justice denied. And that is very bad. Do you see that in our judicial systems as it stands now?
Whoa. Procured as used in the context means influence or corrupted in delivering of biased judgments. And this has been persistent in public concern over the years. That's biased judgment by these judges. In 2015, Anas had an expose exposing 30 judges and court staff under John Dramani Mahama in 2015.
In 2015.
Yeah. What happened? The same term of John Dramani Mahama. Airways, a 3-year anchor, took money to World Cup at Brazil.
Kube.
Over millions of dollars. And at the same John Dramani Mahama, Kwesi Nantechi took bribe from this Anas expose. We are taking over the country. Sedinam Tamaklo. In 2013, Kantamount to fire victims scared the man on Opoketi Sikano.
Opoketi, on farm mom.
On Fiskana mom. Sedinam Tamaklo. All this happened under John Dramani first term.
And were these people actually taken to court for action, for legal action to take place?
Now, the party will be moved in the court. Almost free World Cup in Bayam Pen and Mahama Sunday, or with a free young Cassandra the presidency. If you say this kind of this kind of could be and millions of dollars.
Do you see this to be a deliberate action by the then former president?
Sure.
Right.
Who say you don't for court process? Any of these names I've mentioned? Any of these names?
I didn't. Yeah.
All happened all happened under John Dramani Mahama first term. Intino say cause corruption against this government a serious thing.
Well, it's not necessarily just this particular government, but let's take the country.
Oh yes, I'm making reference to how things have been over the years.
Over the years, right?
No, judicial cases and backlogs. Then these delays, this loss of trust.
Yeah.
You were poor management system.
In terms of our judiciary.
Yeah, your poor management system. And you were limited judges and prosecutors.
So why don't
you need witness protection right be sabi utuwe you can say be there dance na dance na uni pass so dance papa na udi no but because say after we dey dance here we no udi na be when then the ball ho ban e ma be the ball ho ban because nipa no be there dance na ni nkoto no the busu ya for be then they'll come after you inti ma be na e wo e ball ho ban inti me there dance the court can start bed now let's talk about political interference. Under John Dramani Mahama, MPs are double salary. MPs are double salary under John Dramani Mahama. Now, Ekufa Dubai and also Jelium, they went through political leaders, traditional leaders, and these high profile people in this country just to seek some plead be near the other scenario. They will not be aligned to jail. Under John Mahama, they took double salary. MPs need double salary. Kuma yao. I was saying for the buy Kujelium, but they go for the job.
Why?
That's the question. Why?
Why did he leave these people if they've embezzled?
Now, Obia on the ferry for. As you sit down here, oh, ferry for, Mr. Mom ferry for. And to say, oh, yeah, Bonina say, and now Obio Bibina say, they'll ferry for back. Will you say no? So that is a political interference in our judicial system. Yeah, the high profile man, be baba, through your back door, through your homes. Then you can have a pouch. Or because they did. In Timana bed and I age, man. Now, yenhwe broader institutional effect. This is Office of the Special Prosecutor, Yoko, CID, and what do you call it, SHRAD. All these are anti-corruption bodies.
Yeah.
And all these bodies, if the courts become slow or compromise, they lose their impact. The court near slower, and as a court near compromiser, by with this interferences that I have just named them. And yet, Attorney General Dominic Ayini, instead of sending his findings to court or by a media encounter.
When it's a government accountability series, so they are getting the citizens involved in all the processes.
Say, a idea. You pay attention in Nepal and carry your findings straight to court. Whoever has issues to come to the court and defend. But over a bontia by a media encounter. Nani politini diwo in SMBC more. Only mobile Attorney General also fair no. Then everything will be passed through back doors and you will flee. Oh, attorney, what I say, we know if you ask them, you crime you. But officer when you find is now they go straight to the court. Oh, on a court to prayer. Obeko na uncle. Na so be media engagement. You just my public may say na ekoso keke. Now the public is not interested in getting to know what's happening. Prosecute. Obeka chance as me why say no. Ono anya ne den. Didn't na Ghana for to Obama NDC. Mo say MP before then AVSK, AD or Manisika, Ebo Money Chrono, the country is criminally managed by John Dramani Mahama. It's a criminally manager. I didn't tell them media engagement. One form of findings in court now, court in taking the proceedings. So as it stands now, the general public have lost interest in the judicial service. Because the interference is too much.
It's too much. Right. Ms. Abdul, I'll be back to you shortly. Mr. Abdul, do you agree with what Mr. Domlevo is saying, that our judicial system has actually been undermined by judicial delays?
In fact, first of all, before I venture into the main topic, I want to extend my regards to Captain Ayamba, one of the most, articulate members of the NDC communication team. He's a fantastic, brand. And then Efo Holali. Efo Holali is one of the men holding, the back for some of us. They are doing, they are doing well. And then also my boss, Pakwesi, wherever he is, I salute him. Now, I'm very confused.
Why? Why are you confused? Do you need me to read the...
No, I'm confused with regards to my brother's rendition. I don't know what to say.
So why don't you just make a submission and then...
No, but this is a political discourse we are having.
Right.
I need to respond to some of the allegations he raised, which I find inaccurate. Did he say that Nyante Chi's issue happened under John Dramani, His Excellency John Dramani? I don't know where he had this information from. Nyante Chi's issue happened when he told a Dubai businessman that he should use him as a conduit. In fact, the president is in his pocket. He has the president in his pocket. He has a whole President Nanado in his pocket. So my brother, I beg you, revisit your facts.
Okay. If that's what you are saying. If
Then
that wasn't under JDM, I'll just check that.
I'll check it.
Yeah, I'll just check
I am just giving but you don't even have to struggle to know. This statement that I have the president in my pocket was a very popular, statement, and it was everywhere.
Right.
Okay, so, and he mentioned Sedinam Tamaklu, he mentioned some, corruption, If you are not careful, you even making statements on it, you'll be corrupt. My brother just corrupted himself by speaking about corruption. You understand? Now, corruption is a serious killer. Corruption is a dangerous thing. Do you know that even drug trade, if it's allowed to persist, it will not cause serious damage like corruption? And all the countries that were top when it came to the business of drug trade, they collapsed not because of the drug trade. They collapsed because of the process from drug trade that was corrupting the officials. So corruption here is corruption everywhere. Look, corruption can deny a country better health. Corruption in a country can deny citizens better education. Corruption can deny a country better roads, better infrastructures. Corruption can kill a country. So it is very imperative that when we are discussing corruption, we should discuss it with a political lens. Because I always say that NDC will come, NDC will go, MPP will come, NDC will go. We the citizens will remain, Ghana will remain.
Mm-hmm.
So if our interest is to protect our political affiliations, then we are doomed. You get my point? That is why if you have taken cognizance of my activities here in your studios, whenever it came to corruption, I stay as much as possible neutral.
Right.
You understand? So, you see what Domlevo is saying?
Mm-hmm.
He cannot be far from right. Okay?
So you don't totally agree with what he's saying, that there are actually some...
My statement means I agree with him.
You agree with him?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Because, there is this cliche that we've been hearing for a very long time, that the wheels of justice grinds slowly. And I am now understanding the import of that statement. The reason the politicians have been echoing this in our ears so that we will come and accept it as a natural course of action. My dear, we need to be serious as a nation. We need to be serious as a nation.
Right. So, looking at what is coming from Mr. Domlevo, are there instances where we've seen such cases that some cases are actually intentionally being
delayed,
prolonged, or even delayed,
yes,
just to make sure that the assumption that when this political party comes into power, they are going to, you know, do what they have to do to speak in my favor? Have we seen any instances? It could be with this current administration, it could be with the previous administration.
Sincerely speaking, if I'm to delve into this matter properly, I'll be committing political biases.
Well, I would like you to delve into it properly.
Okay. Look at it this way. You know, Mr. Chachuchikata, one of the astute lawyers, legal brains the country had, or still has, he was incarcerated. And it took almost 8 years to get him incarcerated. So the MPP came to power in 2001, ensured that within the tenure of office of President Kufuor, they incarcerated him alongside others, with the Solomon, you know. But it turned out that the reasons or basis for jailing Chachukata was fundamentally flawed in law. In fact, it's not only Ghanaians or the NDC who had problems with the way and manner Chachukata was handled. In fact, the International Criminal Court wrote a lengthy thesis on this. And then they chastised the president of Ghana, then President Kufuor, for manipulating the judiciary for political reasons. So in this case, would you say it was deliberately prolonged? The case was deliberately prolonged through 8 years? No. Like, the government tried as much as they can to jail him, and it didn't work. Finally, they had to employ dubious means to get him jailed. You look at issues regarding look at it this way too. In 2012, President Mahama had issues with Abu Gapeli. Okay, who was his close friend, a party member, an appointee. But President John Dramani Mahama, in his clear mind, understood that corruption is a canker that must be fought with all the will. And then he started procedures to getting Abu Gapeli, face the law. And it took, the case took, or it went beyond President Mohammed's first tenure to Akufo-Addo's tenure before he was jailed. So the case transcended one particular political administration. You understand? So what Dumulevo said, and mind you, he's been in the fight against corruption
for quite some time.
For quite some time. He understands what is happening. And it is true. You see, I always say that is my problem with the judiciary. Somehow, and I quite to say the PNDC era and the judiciary, there's some sort of disunity. So whenever elements of the NDC are in court, you cannot be sure of the outcome. You know, law must be specific. For instance, an issue is sent to court. In fact, as a matter of, of law, every lawyer, every judge should be able to predict the outcome. Yes. you can't predict the sentence, but you can tell that this issue. That is why in the lawyers we have the solicitors and you have the advocates. The solicitors are those who are vested in the law, but they cannot practice in court because they have not gone to Makwala. You have the advocates; they can go to the court and defend a client. So when you don't want to incur a lot of debt, you go to the solicitors. So a bear jai and I say, oh, this is how the issue will look like. But under Akufo-Addo, under Akufo-Addo and Bawumia, it was so difficult to predict a case. It was so difficult to predict a case. The manipulations are MPP are here in the judiciary. It's frightening. That is why sometimes I don't understand. You go to school to learn law, and you cannot be intelligent enough to know that you don't have to come and be doing politics. Look at the Ghana Bar Association. Say MPP or power. They are mute. When NDC comes to power and they are even doing the right thing, the Ghana Bar wants to have an issue. They should sit back and ask themselves, say, how long would they keep doing this? Right. The legal fraternity, the judiciary, they have to sit up.
Right, because
you understand? Because a better baby know him. And then the judiciary, Georgina Wood, or ye not Juma diligently throughout almost 3 political administrations. Obian Pamono. Obian Kano Hasem. Share with the petition. Go for Georgina Wood or step it down or call retirement. No, eh? She had a press conference, and she thanked President Kufuor for appointing her. She thanked President Mills for allowing her to work, even though when he said the NDC for them pay. She thanked President John Dramani Mahama for not listening to even the party people. You understand? And the judicial no more they should set up. Once in now, Mami de move and say, Tokunu de, one ya koyeno. We are appointed as the head of the judiciary. Shasuna yep judicial, mandate. You are there doing party politics. You are doing MPP bidding.
All right.
Mr. Justice system no. Too much. They should sit up. More school, more be more.
Acting CJ, do you trust him?
I don't have any, reason to doubt his credibility. Edru why Becca because on him judicial no him. On say Tambia no mo kasan omo hihye sa omo hye sa wig na ade na bom team say spirit bi on him say yanu na the third arm of the government yanu no institution bi a obi adwane by ho nti yem pese politics mo de so mo na mo ye politics no
on him say MPP ba this acting CG obeko be free by
adentia.
Why do you intend to take him?
Well, no, you ask him.
Judicial system now by a political appointment.
What makes you think so?
Me bow.
No,
Debbie. I want us to stick to your statement. A political appointment is true. Throughout history, since the Fourth Republic, President Kufuor, President Rollins appointed.
No, appointed is happen. With evidence or with no evidence, he must go.
That is why Ghanaians must run away.
But don't you think that is we setting a bad precedent for?
And the
judiciary is supposed to work as an independent body.
Exactly. MPP. No problem. No. The 3 arms of government. Almost say more. The judiciary. They try to manipulate it to the least.
All right.
And no more the token one smart. Yes, sir. Yeah, the e-levy. Now token sometimes it influences me. Yeah, the e-levy bill. Parliament we are third class. Parliament is second in power. Yeah, ranking arms of government now. We are third. Parliament is sitting on an issue of e-levy. Momuye abang President Akufo-Addo person or activate e-levy. And our parliament say moon chain or say there be and our NDC minority true crata the comma petition the comma CJC call the president to order. Sir Chief Justice talk on you can was him. That's bullshit. Munkoso. And say Muko say you activate 11 na parliament we na you who say enya. It means this is Charlie, MPP, that is why you guys remain in opposition for far too long. Because my mother say, Mube say Ghana.
Right. MPP almost Ghana. See, I can't say violent party by NDC.
And yeah, about violence, yeah, can't about deliberately trying to. Master, any violence, so hey, is that how you are? When you say trying to manipulate the judiciary alone, you are destroying the country.
Whoever sits on the CJ throne. Obeko, me catch up with evidence or with no evidence. Obeko.
That is your party position.
And MPP they are out. You catch up say Obi a man Obeko be Obeko.
That is why the MPP must remain in opposition until they have serious people in the party. No, you will. You know, Namo already no more chairman Sabonso catch him before 2024 elections. Say we diagona will lose 2024 elections. Mu bet not less than 3 times, and it will happen.
It will happen. NDC.
Oh, say, Nanado has been able to destroy the MPP to the extent that they can't even think straight for themselves.
Please, gentlemen, I can't listen to. See,
why they?
Mo party no echemu miensa mo kapo mo party na engu.
Was it
NDC party no? Before I ever 2000. Mo party chemu miensa obedasa mo owie NDC ka no question pass. Mo party ne chemu miensa mo come
allegation ya woman. Be very careful with yourself because what offense radio
mo party no
enti who go say obi awia party ska obi ayesi a
hello.
Please, won't you
take
your party?
No, wait, listen to me. Whilst you were making your submission, he was quiet.
And I'm not even done making
I told you your time was up.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll be forced to put off your microphone when you are done talking so that nobody hears you at all.
Fair enough.
All right, thank you.
Share NDC. The fact that more power, more the biggest political party. And more party, no. And much chairman, sir. Edu baby come fan of the party. Jerry John Rollins. Of free party name also children with sharp teeth. Na here for. And you come party name.
Right. Okay.
First lady of the party. Just the late Rollins Kunedu.
Yeah. Nana.
I didn't know free. Ni papa on one new party no betting the party. Ni kunu party o. On what me free ni kunu party. And ni chimo party name. Yeah, just you are to abanamo winning with 1.7 margin. I'm see a party because of what?
Right. Okay. So, Mr. Quentin, there's actually a question I want to ask you. Do you still have trust in our judicial system as it stands now?
Currently, in Ghana, MPP wa ben. Jama must say, "Eko father loadi judges abegu judicial system into about reset." Now about the 66 more or the High Court judges about Supreme Court judges.
And I even learned he has even brought back the retired.
Into opposition now, Okase, Eko father loadi the judicial system with political aligned people. Now, unja so is now what do you Coco High Court near the no only one political affiliation. Because Nipa no was so say any judge into no what man is high ranking. Nipa now man is high rank only political affiliation. And Obia or ye politically aligned to the party. It's now who now Kasana. Nanado. Oba you dey within 10 months. You dey all the judicial system, no.
So that has made you lose trust in the judicial system. You think
judicial system no loading in there. Omo plan the next 4 years na we talk about 2028 no.
Yes.
Omo farm more crown. The most important thing is that CJ need there. Obeko. And yes you for your new judges.
Right. Have you lost trust in the judicial system?
Oh come on, this will be my trust we.
So you think that the judiciary is not working as an independent body as it stands now in our government?
Oh, Office of the Special Prosecutor. And the Attorney General. Oh, I'm can say Omo retrieve this. I know so far much may retrieve. After mobile with booking said the oral entries car has been garbage.
That's
entries.
Actually a false. I fast checked that and it's false.
And I'm telling you that this oral being hyped
like a waste of time and resources.
You think it's a waste of time and resources? Wow.
This about him. Anka enne or say me prosecute nipa ba akopɛ for.
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Because I say why na so for me to prosecute no. And now media engagement.
And media engagement. Some of the cases media engagement going back and forth.
And the media media no receive cases. It's serious. Funny court, no course having it course. Media no because TV so radio so and I'm Charlie. And yet no mine no epe. So also obi a risk ya obi obo mine corner. Funny fa in my kwan so. By a catch of the CJ in there. Onim say MPP ba. And you never no automatically on because the Bible continue CJ.
Right. So if these are all allegations that we've made against the judicial system, what do you think we can do to rebuild that?
Sir, you say you have a right standard of judicial system. I will say both parties, any all other political parties are more Ghana. A forming committee. That's from my mind. A forming committee.
That is what you are proposing.
Yes.
That
a forming committee. Then each representative from each political party.
But the judiciary is supposed to be a neutral body, right?
Yes.
Right. So why do we have to
say the judiciary, to say, say, you talk about a new government bar. Whether you are the independent body, the president has the supreme power over you. And it's the president can say, oh, man, for some point to as CJ. Move your petitions, move by any vetting, and could see baby.
But Nipaconos no, so different, so am I into Nana.
Only for the see to
right.
Only for the able to know when the CJ only for call.
Yeah, and then you've made your point.
And then part in penny for Canada. Say only for when the four. Obeko into any men America. Part in penny for say only for when the four. Because say NDC for if you have Bema.
I'm on Fanunko. So is that right? Or you are saying that simply because
Mama be just ask no. And we just ask and you say you this.
So you think all the allegation made against Tokonu for her removal, you think none of them is right?
None of them is right.
None of them.
None of them is right.
Right. Okay. Mr. Abdul, please, do you have trust in our judicial system?
As a matter of fact, I'm dumbfounded by today's, it's like, anyway, the loss in the judiciary, the loss of hope, trust, and the sanctity of the judiciary didn't dissipate today. You remember in, I think that should be in just around 2017, 2018, when MPP came to power, we had this guy, Manas, the guy who has been maxing himself.
Anas, yeah.
There was a serious expose with regards to corruption. And in fact, the one that was very topical was the one that linked Akufo-Addo to the Nyantechi issue. You understand? And in fact, some of us started discrediting Anas because he showed the video, he premiered the video right from when they trapped Nyantechi to when Nyantechi was supposed to take them to President Akufo-Addo.
Right. So what do you think?
So the judiciary has lost trust. They have lost the hope.
They've lost credibility as well.
Yes. So for a very long time, you see. So what they have to do, because listen, I want you to give me time. Look, I think what is happening today is part of efforts to resetting the judiciary, to doing a serious cleanup of the judiciary. Imagine, President John Dramani Mahama, he's not a lawyer, but in 2012, when MPP sent election petition to court, read the verdicts the judges passed on every step of the way. You hear 6-3, 5-4, like 5 dissenting, or are having one position, then 4 is opposing. It shows that there is some independence in their thinking. MPP is a waste of time. MPP is the political party that shouldn't exist. Fast forward, when NDC took the election petitions to court in MPP's era, unanimous. It means that all the judges are forced to toe one line. Sometimes this thing it influences me and I just lose control of my temper. When I hear MPP talking like this, then it's like they are taking us for fools. Anything I make as a judge for, a lawyer for, Monsieur Nyansa. Mun say your profession is to protect the law and not to do party politics.
Right.
How can an issue go to court and in all the instances unanimous? When somebody who wasn't a lawyer was in power, you were able to articulate your views independently. You don't like that. To the extent that Japan had the guts to be insulting judges everywhere. They were judges on when you from a judge would take cases so. Now former IGP our bar for defamation say Japan didn't attempt. Wagun Hufin. Kokan will say you are sitting in the seat. Hey, you don't know who you have brought this case against. Look at all this. I judge you for sanctity image. I share with them because of politics. A woman is so. Monsieur Nyansa. Aden. Who Justice Tukuno. Look how you run down the judiciary. To the extent say who nipa birth certificate to crime it is not a guarantee say we Ghanaian. But kita passport we Ghanaian. Nyansa any adwene be no was asem we mu. As we sit today, there are a lot of people who are non-Ghanaians, but they have passports. And yet, a Ghanaian who was born in Ghana has birth certificate doesn't qualify to be a Ghanaian. Adentia because more person more per be so now more you Voltarians need be free fencing EC fence register so. I don't know sir. Share it is time. I think the Constitutional Review Committee has to do something for Ghanaians.
Yeah, so do you accept the reforms Mr. Domlevo proposed?
You see, Mr. Domlevo, that guy is an icon of, or yes, just superb. As more can, it is in line with common sense. First of all, judge be or better corruption issue be as no. There should be time limit. Mayam Pinema, a judgment Nippon court, not what to nash another 2 months, 6 months. Now case near dragon rough. Abra nipa na wieska wa bomman no kro no a yesi ejiska free no to do embark on development.
Right.
Now more waste time no sir. You see this country until Ghanaians know their enemies, we will not be able to come out of this quagmire.
Yeah. Mr. Quante, Mr. Domlevo brought up several reforms where he mentioned that there should be a time limit to some of the cases that will be sent to court. He also proposed that the judicial system should work 24/7, 24 hours to speed up some of these cases. If you remember, last 2 years, is it last 2 years or last 2 years, there was an issue on board where a police officer shot his girlfriend. And they've now finalized the case. That issue has been in court for 2 solid years. And I even learned the last time the man was even coming to court, he has bloated. He was fat. Why can say why fine? Look at all these delays to such a murder case. Do you think that is right for our system?
They can't catch us in our judicial cases and backlogs. There are some loopholes.
Yeah.
Political interference. Naka murder kids put here. Can you say if you've been but
prosecute
the moment Sebi me may bonny. Before a court enter us and now my locate penny be. Nasa penny so locate penny. Into locate and I could judge no. Into judge no face on yamba. I yet now some so ne. Ochina and ne. Ochina and ne. Ochina and Ochina. It leads to nothing. Honorable Domlevo Samuel Bekin. I'm concerned Obia found the national
interest.
Nanka
corruption cases, bribery scandals, near the other. You share the way to address it. Now, the general public, when interest in the judicial
or
system,
even confidence.
What I say?
Right.
To see, anyone have you. We are making. I'm not any party for Beba said no. Really, all your media engagement, maybe, but some me party about. It me yeah, they can align to corruption and bribery scandals. It won't take its course.
Right.
Say this political interference. Limited judges need prosecutors. It is a weak management system. No, and handle cases there. Abamba they be no. What say? Obi committee any serious crime or minor.
Yeah, because if you look at the issue of the immigration, yeah, koba. If I join the issue again to November,
from November
January,
from January near March, before me know me I be fees no. Now you be primaries. Now on say MPP, say na party my gidi obi a pese or no win. Afi na ejana aso no, ejana
do.
Na issue for abane de no to na issue for and so can na ejana do na ya to. Na fe you do 2027 pe no be adwan and listen. Until those past issues are also happening no. Area to. Se part ni sansu we need dia. Na fe wasan confess that wasan ko
old cases
number. Olusu dia say me olusu nti me olusu dia me ha no party e be ba be cases be da on
no attend to that.
Meanwhile, judges are any lawyers sometimes just can numerous of times join any cases no. Because also November, over the Sunday watch January, Wajiska. From January no Sunday watch March, Wajiska. Into only personal interest no, I go beyond the national interest.
Wow.
Into judicial assembly say uncle yamo bibi yo se ko yimo obeka no to because obenya judges na ekoyi mom obeka say de o kana nya na kwenti sa de atenten na yedu baba oboa
right. Okay, so I think we'll just dive into our second topic. Use of local languages now mandatory in all basic school education. The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has announced that the use of local languages as a medium of instruction is now compulsory in all basic schools across the country. He explained that this directive is aimed at improving teaching and learning outcome at the foundational level, ensuring that children understand lessons better in the languages they speak at home. Mr. Idrisu gave the directive during the launch of the Free Tertiary Education for Persons with Disability initiative, where President John Dramani Mahama emphasized the need to strengthen basic education. Right, and that was coming from the Minister of Education. Do you think this will help? Because even when you go for presentation in some companies, how then do you explain such of these things to people in your local language for them to understand?
For me, there's this actor, I've forgotten his name. He said he hopes that one day everyone will understand that English language is just a language.
It's just a language.
But it's not a measure of intelligence.
Right.
The language itself is someone's country language. And we the Ghanaians, we've been colonized by this British. So through the colonialism, we are forced to speak English as our official language.
Right.
Okay, fine. As you speak English as your official language, now you have overthrown your self-esteem language for another country's language. But say to me, a promoting you be gaining self-esteem. Say to me, promoting a longer language in school, you be gaining self-esteem. You be gaining international recognition. Now, utu kwa na oka service your local dialect. You say you are from this country. And if you're able to speak your language, to say Ghana, I mean, used to Britain or colonizing, because of the more you speak, you are still fighting against cultural colonialism. Because language is a part of culture. Food is part of culture. Your way of life, dressing is part of culture.
It's all culture. That's your identity.
That's your identity. And so the more you speak out your identity, the more you come out of colonialism.
Right, you own it.
Now, to say ultimate fight colonialism now, you have a better expression of yourself.
Right.
And to me, I really support this initiative. Yenche, the busy schools, our local talent. That makes us authentic in our own way.
Right.
What I say, and aside that, I promote your culture because every country and every continent build its culture. In African communities, we uphold our culture, and our culture is a way of life. Inti me sinamti me asantini ni kapimi. Me kasa me kan yitwi. Inti even when I was at school, my presentation because me am the chief him. Because me say my lecture into say.
Yes.
The way you be anu, the tree is my DNA.
It's in your DNA.
And the tree makes me who I am. And to say Ghana for you to go other countries, near country, people would love to learn. I didn't hear. Because you can't say language and you have to say promote your language. It is intimate fight say say local dialect in our schools.
In our school.
We are so under colonialism one way or another. Because okay, the categories of colonialism your cultural colonialism, your geographical colonialism. Into Argentina advocate for our own rights and our own freedom. Now, if you can push to the international level, because we are Germany, no one can or Casa or make Germans other expatriates. Ghana, they speak in their language. This is a corporate translator now because buy no kasi.
Exactly.
It's another footballers. No more call, but I'm come China. Obviously, employ. Obviously, translator. Obviously, Germany. Because to say me, over family call Germany this year. Marco can move for some. Because in some mom say, I can read and
you can read and
but
write.
the moment the member of Mike Albeka san utimika or local dialect pe Omeka say no.
Freely.
You must get you an translator. And that person will get a job.
Right. Ms. Abdul, the introduction of local language in our basic school for teaching and learning, how is it going to help us? What is the outcome?
Well, please, you have you sent? Can we get the link?
The link?
Yeah.
Oh, they've sent it to you? Oh,
no, it's not.
They have. All right, you can proceed.
As a matter of fact, the talk around this matter is long overdue. Okay. We understand that by virtue of colonialism, we have been tied to speaking or using English as the official language. Okay. But you know what? What is education, supposed to serve? What purpose is education supposed to serve? Is education supposed to equip us with the ability to memorize or get things imprinted in our minds, and that's all? Or education is supposed to help us solve societal problems? If we are able to answer these two questions, I think we will know why this is in the right direction. When you go to Germany, they ensure that teaching and learning is in their language.
Is in your local language.
The Chinese have done so. the Russians have done so, the Arabs have done so, and they are far ahead of us. You see, I've always been saying this thing, that we need a total overhaul of the entire system our country is running on. Our education is poor because we don't even understand what we are learning in school. Education is supposed to solve problems, not to make you porous. These days, when people sit on TV or radio and they talk, say because it is improper. And you know, look, when you say in the foreign lands, okay, your exams is an open book exams. Now kita textbook. Who read the questions now? Now we be a book. Now we should answer no. It is simply telling you that you are not to commit everything into memory, but you are supposed to use the knowledge you will find in the book to solve the problems. And this is how a country develops. You get the point. So I think this is a good policy. The only thing is, it shouldn't fail us. We shouldn't start this policy if we are not too clear about how to go about this. If we are not certain about our capacity to execute this to fruition, then we have to hasten slowly. Because now because it is going to affect education, it's going to affect a lot of things that we do as a people.
Yes.
And to say nim say ready so kakra. You understand? You Acadian, or do we have the setup to teach and learn and ensure efficiency in proficiency? Are we able to execute this to the fullest, possible level? And to us as a people, definitely one language must stand out. One language must be the standard. We will have a huge tax trying to discover this. It is commonplace that the Asante Tree is the most spoken language in Ghana.
In Ghana.
Okay. Are we right on this?
Yeah.
It's the most spoken
language right here in Ghana. Sorry, I can't.
Wouldn't be? I think we have to find out.
Yes.
Because according to say Hausa is okay. Hausa is out because Hausa originally is not a Ghanaian language.
Yes.
So I think that, but Matisse say as the Ewe language too is being spoken widely. Language.
But the Akan is spoken widely more than
other
languages.
The only say okay Akana, you are talking about the entire group of people who don't even have similarity. If I say, excuse my language, Jonesop, it is pure tree. But the Equiapin will say it in a different way.
Yeah.
In fact, Fantifobeka and Sonche, quite different, okay? And they are all accounts.
But it's still the tree language.
Right. No. Tree, no. Asante for no Kasa. I can't for no a group of people. Because your tree or Fanti. But
in our system, we don't have those.
We do
division.
No. Then you don't know.
So you say you need a chimpi, but you are chim for me account for.
Fanti for so.
Tina
Mekatra say the umbrella is the akan.
The umbrella is the akan.
But
the most.
And you nyina nka twi.
T. On the make a santipi. On the okan hen. On say o twi contest now is one na santipi and you kwapem.
Matu say
me tell automation na metima hu say o kan
my brother
you kwapem twi.
Timasi ye ti ha. Me say you are kanfo. but kasa na omo kan no enyo munya na katwi kasa wo
hwe ma me ka asem cho hwe se enkrani egu nsa kasa be na oka
nkran kasa
busa se so enkrani na oka se enkran kwani kasa se obetimi aka
anya me kan won tima
no I'm just driving
away
I'm
wait.
just driving away from
don't drive away because that's what we are talking about. You are
no, I'm making reference
but
to
akanfo nyina nkatwi. This is I don't we don't even have to debate on this because this is a
let him finish then you come in.
So what you say? Your fantifo nkatwi omuka fante. Your akuapem for omu akanfo but omu nkatwi omuka akuapem. You understand? Your nzima for omu ya akanfo but omu kanzima. You are santefo ho omu ya akanfo but omu katwi. This is a plain language. It's a plain knowledge. Nobody should even debate this. So it is up to us to find out
Mr. Kante
which one we are doing.
Back on the language.
Yes.
Oko sisi yo nkan fa sa so omu gu nsa okasa gamanche no kasa wa na gamanche no kasa wa nkran to the gods. I just say speaking that direct language to the gods no unify the kind of conversation our gods ni have because senkrani gu nsa on hwe say obeka brofo ena say ye tufo a na say we are ibeni na ye tufo a ye be pese ibeni beba na obeka okum kasa na oka no
what you
say
yes
anything na so bi di boni a ibisa so ye dey ni yenko wi ni pa oni kan okum kasa na oni kasa
right for proper understanding.
For proper understanding. Into the moment of being a proper understanding, that means you and I have gained self-recognition. Now you're building self because say it to me, I build on our own self-esteem. In Ghana, Siciliano, I beg a can ethnic group be overcoming other ethnic groups because of the popularity of the language spoken. And then Obia country. But any obia na akani obia ka kan kasa you be a Muslim or come pantepa infante kasa ben
we also consider religious realm.
No they just hold it say Ghana say kasa ya kapa kasa ben
tree
obi amebra or I was in or a Muslim the kasa embe anywhere anywhere tree but utimika tree
yes
because one sunya tree na obey very limited. So I'm not saying maybe.
So
the language for me it should be war projected. Not even our basic schools, universities in.
But do we have the personnel who will be able to teach these people?
You have the capacity.
No, personnel no.
Because
degree teachers.
Because Okotamale we have to get a personnel who can speak that language to be able to translate.
Name brother Kitwa. No chere. Mama day school no chere tree language. She say o German or masters. If I be from ontology, this or can be some way related to
linguistics.
Very good. Or a teacher was in high school, or a degree teacher from Mama Day School on a post in the core, or we feel so on your way to Asante region. No, catch him so no, send anyone from the say moving from degree to masters.
Impressive.
Inti oko Germany here as I speak to you. Oko be 1 year. Now the colleagues from here white in here so omba Ghana no miss your tree.
No miss your tree.
To say oba baka. Oba a child will university as a tree lecturer instead of senior high school because now or a master
upgraded.
I upgrade into uncle we oba as a tree teacher. And I look up or books be out show or about or we with the masters we now or publish it. Or a very brilliant in speaking like or catch you because the tree is from him 50 centuries. You see, into the tree language, you know, and our local dialect. And
our local, let's put it as such, not just
our local. And it's here talking because any holding as a country.
Yeah. So we're actually happy about the initiative there.
Oh, you see, anything about national interest beyond or say enforcing any possible.
Any possible, right?
Because one, we create employment.
Employment, just as you mentioned.
We create employment. Instead, no so back. I don't say obogu. Obi like at the papa about obogu be any panel. Also, on shiny
also.
Because I did be a create job opportunities. Players are Mbobo Ghana, any other countries, any other African countries in Senkoko and Okani Kum Casa, France, Benin, Okana Cap Benin Casa. Or once you put us over 1 year, Mama translator. Now being a Juma who because of you, being a Juma, but say any panel or Nuke or Kachi or Cabrofo or Ca French. Into Juma that they be not other countries, unemployment and a better than Swati.
Yeah, this is actually a source of employment to some people. To also
Oka French, Oka German, Oka Dutch, Oka way. Hey, it's a German in your What I say, but see a call now call people automatically. I say a full more.
Yeah.
A creative job opportunity more. No, between a source of livelihood.
Right. So that was a good one there from the Education Minister.
Oh yeah.
Make it mandatory for us to use local languages in our schools at the basic level. So we'll look into our last topic briefly, then we are out of here. Students with disability to receive automatic fee coverage, President Mahama. So a major relief for students with disabilities. President Mahama has rolled out a new policy that guarantees automatic and full fee coverage for all students with disability in public tertiary schools. So speaking at the official launch of the initiative, President Mahama said the move is part of his government no fees stress policy, a flagship effort to remove financial burdens and make higher education accessible to everybody. Under the new system, students with disability will no longer have to apply individually for financial aid. Instead, tertiary institutions will send validated list of such students through the Student Loan Trust Fund portal, and their fees will be paid directly to the schools. Mr. Abdul, what do you make of this initiative? And how effective is it going to be? This is actually something that has come to stay.
Yeah, I'm always, for policies that will protect or inure, to the benefit of Ghanaians. In fact, we are more than 60 years as a country. We should have gone past this stage. Gone past a stage where we are considering making part of our education free. Because I believe that if we had been stringent, if we had been strategic, efficient and effective with the use of our natural resources, we should have gone far, or we would have gone far in terms of our development. So it's good. We pray that people don't exploit this, policy for their financial, parochial financial gains. You understand? Because some people may, exploit this. It's part of human nature. So I think the policy should guide and guard against some of these things. It's a good policy. We all have to embrace it. Make sure that we support government to be able to, bring this to fruition.
Right. Mr. Quentin, what do you make of the initiative? Is it a good one right there?
Oh, yeah, it's really a good one. But
right.
I was like, why should it be only aligned to public
university? And why not extended to the private
because there are
as well?
private universities too.
So what happens to those disabled in private
schools? I should be asking him.
No. You see,
you see when you're talking about just.
In fact, I have to touch on it.
Let me hold it.
Okay, do it.
Let's give him 1 minute so that he then you come in.
No, you see, it will not make sense for government to say that I'm extending this to private institutions.
So it means that if you want to enjoy such a thing, you have to go to a public school. But they are all these persons with disabilities.
No, you see, the private person is in business to make money. Do you know that government doesn't have the business of making money? It is not government's business to do business.
Right.
Government is there to spend on the citizens wisely.
Okay.
So, government cannot go about saying that all, public and private institutions will be rolled, onto this program. It's just dissipating public funds unnecessarily.
Okay.
You see, you've issued a nice policy,
a very brilliant one.
Okay, and you've aligned this policy to a specific institution. Is that really fair? At least give this private university some cutoff
or a percentage.
And even with this policy,
are you confused?
Even with this policy, you just have to even start from the scratch, from the basic school to the
education. Private work.
Please let him finish. Please let him finish. David, let him finish. Thank you so much.
If you are talking about life-changing policies, it should cut across all. A life-changing policy.
Private institutions and come.
I know the.
You matter.
Because more opposition now so move yasin yansin na o mutrim. Nti mo ba ba ye be sesa yansin na mo be.
Omonye.
Another make am want us.
We majawo.
And that's what we now we all knowing political party in opposition.
How many present?
What I say mo baby abunim Sam George mo ya black am. They knew everything. Nti mo ba ba ye expect say mo mistakes. Mo dis anyan so no be na my be perfect. You say then am mo ye no. Say if it's near school near say for price and for come more opposition na mo nim nyansa mo ba be mu nyansa ni ni o mutimi for private for come. Is that what he's telling me? A life-changing policy. All hands must be on deck. So what are you telling me? Say the government and this as a political party, do you know their interest? National interest. Yen MPP. Yen
I found our casa.
No, yen MPP. Yen for private purposes.
Yeah, national interest.
More than national interest.
Private.
What I say?
What's the last one, mommy?
No, means
Ghana wasn't.
Our Senka more yes a life-changing policy way. Come with the private.
I think maybe you don't understand what you are saying. He's talking about.
No, don't come in. Listen to me carefully. Me see end this as a political party. We believe in national interest. And the MPP, they believe in private ownership.
Yeah, I think I read something.
And you say more believing in national
NDCs for sociology.
In this policy.
I just wanted to give you small education on this.
No,
I say your systems of government.
Yes.
So your policies, economic policies are categorizing into how a government is formed. You're socialist, you're capitalist. By any sociology, and you need as someone working or party for tier or mono bekun, they will tell you that you don't know what you are talking about. Socialist is a system, or socialism is a system where government takes control of almost all the natural resources or all the resources of the country. Capitalism is where a lot of the resources of the country is being managed by the private sector. But you see, as it is now, there's no country that is fully capitalist. There's no country that is fully socialist. As we speak, every country is endeavoring to practice the mix into a three.
Mr. Abdul.
So I say three forms.
Right.
And you have the socialist, capitalist, and mixed. But you see, even the mixed, the capitalism.
Any free seniors to buy. Must say, add no one make it private inclusion.
See, and mix it would be said that in a way, young for private. So it will make sense. And also there be I don't say because I didn't know more free education by my private account.
Say me catch you say I didn't know for private institutions and can one catch them say didn't free senior school by for private account. Not making any sense.
Hey, sir.
Oh yes.
I didn't say
that's not money science and no opposition. And na mobile science and more apply.
Ah, your science and this thing.
And I'm face of show. No, you know private public
Into
when about instead of sign obenya public care from school. Why na show go for way from basic school, junior high school, secondary school. Obenya mo awon na na dey go university.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You don't understand what?
We are talking about tertiary, disabilities in tertiary
disabilities
education.
No. Obenya support when from basic school, junior high school, secondary school and so on.
Any education totally free in Ghana.
Intika,
I agree with you. Me, that's my position.
And I make us say, Intika, oye ni say no. And kasa support we are stress-free policy we. And starting from the basic say. Like embrace from basic, junior high school, secondary school. Into nipa on the musa to the tertiary level. To see nipa no best run on the way.
I agree
so
with you.
That will be just for persons with disabilities.
Very good.
Right.
Intika, person with disabilities no almost that almost does the normal people. Intika. It's a nice initiative. And starting with the basic.
From the basic level.
What I say, up to university.
Let me assure you.
Complete life-changing policy. What I say.
Okay. Let me assure you that God willing, the NDC will ensure that education at all levels
NDC is promising.
Are totally
promising
free.
You're not any campaign.
All right.
Mr.
Kwanzi, please your last word before we leave.
So, me de manusi no, me catch me party for you na say. Omo come to you.
Mo come.
And omo end do omo want tell me the campaign messages near the other. NDC.
Oh.
Which Rollins NDC which Rollins po you two. Rollins asoja for nya penny lieutenant whatever you two no. What I say, John one mama, you two need that. You be saying to me be.
Yo, yate. Mr. Abdo, your last words.
I'm advising Ghanaians, me to Ghana for Miss Romo. Yenko Echibium. She, it is the first time. Me, as a Ghanaian man who say, inflation, I can a year juma. Is the first time who say exchange rate a win here. $1 from 3 cities 90 pesos. Would you acquire 16 cities? Now, by Papa, they are back to 10. It means we are bringing meaning to macroeconomic indicators.
Oh, they are about 10. Now, so go come almost $17 cities near a tardy. See, the entire day.
I want to add Mimi say me a tardy. Mammy.
Then I'll try
me full-time friends and baker. I bake. I run a bakery.
Ayo, yedama saying, I'm sure why.
Because you told me bread pa.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Thank you to our lovely guests and our lovely audience. Thank you to our guests too for doing the talking, and thank you to our audience as well for doing the listening. Do have a lovely day. We'll come same time again tomorrow.